You're going to find a way.
Good morning. Welcome
morning,
to the Travis and Sliwa Show. Producer Emily, producer Jorge.
Yes. Buenos dias, roars.
How about that? Now, last night was my first night on Underdog Sports. This is my first time doing this thing, by the way, and I'll tell you my promo code later as soon as they get it to me. But I took Jamal Murray higher than 22.5 points.
Yeah, whoops.
And I had already won my first two entries.
Oh.
And I was just waiting. And I didn't watch the first half. I was just following it along while I was on the elliptical in the garage.
What happened to your Peloton?
I switch off.
Oh, okay.
I don't do the Peloton constantly.
Okay.
Where did it end up? In the room or the...
It's in the garage.
Okay.
Did you get the boots?
So I have the...
And the seat?
No, I didn't get the seat. I got the boots.
Do you clip in?
Yeah, you got to clip in.
You do?
You have to clip in.
You have to?
Yeah.
It won't work without it?
I mean, it's dangerous.
It won't work.
Okay.
For a man of my
Carriage?
to not clip in, we could have some issues.
I understand.
But momentum goes too far. You can't...
It's physics at some point. It's just if you get a little
That's
too
what
much
I'd be
one
worried
way,
about. I'd be worried about I can't get my feet on the ground.
That's it.
But yeah, Jamal Murray. He didn't make up the 15 points I needed in the second half.
Well, he's too busy throwing heating pads at referees.
If I'm right, he had 8?
He had 8. Yeah,
he had 8 points.
Thank you for reminding me. He
Well,
had
8 and a heating pad at the referee and an attempted towel throw at a referee that caught some puff of wind and didn't quite make it to its destination.
What the hell is going on in that series?
Well, the Timberwolves are good. And for those people on social media that go, see, if the Lakers could have just gone bounce the Nuggets.
Stop with that.
What?
Stop with that.
Wait, I don't even know that angle. What is that angle?
A lot of people are doing if you would have just avoided the Nuggets, since the Nuggets are bad, then the Lakers would have been the Timberwolves.
Wrong.
I don't know how that math works.
Wrong.
It's like 2 + 2 = banana.
The Nuggets are the defending champions who went through everybody last year, who looked like the best team for large parts of this year, who took the Lakers out in 5 games because Jamal Murray hit 2-game winners and was perfectly chill and comfortable and everything throughout the entire thing. Jamal Murray lost his damn mind in 6 quarters against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves not only are winning,
because they're demolishing them.
They're destroying them. They've killed them twice. Anthony Edwards is the best player on the floor, and it's not close, and the Nuggets are on tilt after 2 games on their home floor. Stop with that.
Yeah, I don't understand the path thing. The path thing is the path thing. The tougher path was to go through Denver and then potentially Minnesota and then potentially Dallas, but you were going to have to face them anyway. So I'm done with that whole this path versus that
nonsense.
Path.
Oh, you're past that?
Who are your other 2? Who did you have that you won
I'll tell
with?
you. Stand by. Let me open up my
3,
Underdog Fantasy
2,
app. Well, yeah, I didn't know you were
1.
going to ask me the other 2.
Well, you opened the door. I like to follow up. I like to ask questions about the details.
I had Anthony Edwards higher than 0.5 points in the first
Oh,
quarter.
they give you
that
one.
Was a nice
they give you one, yeah.
Then I had Cat, Karl Anthony Towns. By the way, I want to hear about the Cat. The other Cat.
Unbelievable.
Higher than 4.5 first quarter points. So I won those 2.
Oh, first quarter points.
He killed it in the first.
Then I took
first
Jamal
half
Murray higher than 22.5 for the game. And that one
let you down.
Got you.
it let me down.
Yeah, Murray got you.
He let you down.
Yeah, not great.
What do you want to know about the Cat?
So I heard the story in the Wookiee promo, which kind of featured me, which I always like.
I figured you might.
So hold on, I want to read this tweet. This was from Grant in L.A., our friend. One of the tweets last night. He said the Lakers would beat the Knicks or the Pacers. They'd probably beat the Mavs, and they match up versus the Wolves. They even match up well against the Celtics. It's just the damn Nuggets.
Sure.
Is that what it is? It's just the damn Nuggets.
I'm with him. I wasn't with him.
Even you don't believe that.
I wasn't with him, but by the time you got to the end of that tweet, I'm now with him.
Yeah, like what about the Heat? What about the other teams?
Now,
like,
his math is 4 + 4 = orange.
Yeah, right. You are the most optimistic Laker person I know.
see his angle. I get the
no
If it wasn't those darn Nuggets, everything would have been fine. Darvin Ham would still be the coach.
Anthony Edwards has cut the line. He just decided, I'm not waiting around. I'll just be the best player in the league starting now.
Oh, don't say that. We all know what Braun is.
Well, I keep forgetting you're a Laker fan now.
I am.
I keep forgetting that you're the number 1 Laker fan, and you're going to be a LeBron stan throughout all of this.
Oh, yeah. So tell me, I'm going to buy LeBron Lakers jerseys, all 3 numbers. So It was
all,
a joke. It was a
all
joke.
the different
It was
teams.
a joke.
I really wanted him to have a third that I couldn't remember.
Dude, get ready. When you got to flip the script and start anew,
Maybe he'll
we
give
change
Bronny
number.
23.
Yeah, Chris, I want you to do that. Remember that guy that had all the Russell Westbrook jerseys from every team he's ever been on? I want you to go to a game and just take off jersey by jersey until you're at the last one.
And what will be the next one when this? Do you think?
Well, he's been 6 and 23.
So he's going to get 2 more years, most likely, maybe 3.
29. Add them together.
What do you think will be the last team though? Because he won't call it after that.
Oh, he's going to finish with the Lakers.
You think so?
Yeah, I think
you don't think there's going to be a random like Celtics
Unless-
here, like
The
Shaq?
the only random at the end of the line one
Is if his son gets drafted somewhere.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's Cleveland. I think he goes to close the circle one last time, 1 year in Cleveland.
This
you're
is
right.
for you.
You're right that that's not a random one.
Right.
That's okay, I'm going home.
Yeah.
All right, so
I
let's
don't
hear the
think that's
cat
gonna
on the
happen.
golf course story.
So did you hear what
The
it was?
animal, the cat,
okay.
not Carl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the kid, not the
So
KAT.
we're playing
No,
golf.
here, I got it. I'm going to put the
CAT.
podcast on.
We get off to we have an 850
At your usual spot.
at my usual spot, and we have an 850. So we pull up to the first tee about 8:45. Okay. So as you well know, the 840 group should probably be in the middle of the fairway or on the green.
Correct.
They're still on the first tee, and they haven't even taken a club out of the bag. There's nobody in the first fairway. There's nobody on the first green. It's wide open, slow.
With arms wide open, as the great Creed once said.
Does that bother you a lot as well? Is this is this a golfing thing? Everybody
here's
feels
the
the
thing.
same way.
If I know I have to be somewhere at the end of my round, and it's a tight day, I'm very annoyed. I usually don't care. Tommy Lamb, our GSM, who golfs with me regularly,
Not
he
happy?
cares every time.
I care every time.
Tom Travis is the type of person that cares every time.
Yeah, it doesn't need to take 5 hours to play around the golf.
Unplug it and plug it back in.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. With arms wide open.
Probably have.
Hey, like Nintendo, you gotta blow on the thing and then.
How about
Yeah,
now?
like the DVDs.
We better? Okay. So, yeah, exactly.
By the way, this
Get
is
out
like the
Windex.
Russian nuclear system in the 80s. It's just getting worse and worse.
Mini Mania? Mini Mania.
Put the mic in the freezer.
Every time they tell me, Chris, it's all good, other
It's
stuff
not.
just happens.
It's not all good. So anyway, what should take about 12 minutes to play the first hole takes about twice that amount.
Okay.
We're like, oh my gosh, this is a nightmare. We get to the second hole.
Oh, God bless you.
They're
So-
in the fairway when we hit the tee. So by the time we get to hit our second shot on the second hole, they're on the green, and my buddy Brad says to me, Trav, what is that on the green? And he can see better than I can, and I'm like, I can't really tell. He goes, I think that's a cat. Like, it's not a cat, Brad. They don't have cats on the golf course. And he's like, no,
Yeah, shut up, Brad.
I'm pretty sure that's a cat. And I'm like, no, it's not a cat. Next thing you know, you see whatever it is run across the green.
Now, are we talking about like a little pussy cat, or are we talking about like a big giant cat?
I'm talking the house cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So all of a sudden he goes, what's that? We look over to the side of the green, and there's this little box. Somebody does something. The cat runs into the box. They pick the box up, put it in the back of the golf cart. They took a damn cat around with them throughout the course of the day. They had a
Wait a
cat
minute, whoa,
in
whoa,
a
whoa.
cat carrier that they took throughout the entire golf course all day long.
How beautiful was it on Sunday out? It's
perfect.
You want your cat just sitting inside? You want to take your cat out with you and give it a chance to breathe some fresh air.
Are these regulars of the course? Did you find out? Did you complain immediately?
So we
you try
asked
to
some
hit towards the
questions.
cat?
So because they're backing everybody up, we got guys backed up on us, right?
Of course.
So we're on the sixth hole, and the group behind us comes up, and they see that we're just standing there. They're like, "What's going on?" And we're like, "Yeah, they got a cat." The guy goes, "What do you mean they got a cat?" Like, they have a cat in their group. And the guy goes, what do I get if I hit the cat? So everybody was frustrated.
Not that anybody would ever do that.
Not that everyone would ever do this or be good enough to even try to do it.
That's true, too.
But it was
Cat
a
moves
cat.
out of the way, too.
Then at about the ninth hole, all of a sudden they decided to play fast. And they were just gone.
So did you ever complain officially?
Not officially,
Can
no.
we find... See, if you had officially complained and maybe confronted, we could have had the cat people on the show. Because I want to know about the thought process. I've been golfing
100%.
many years.
I'm with you.
Have you?
I've
Never, right?
I've brought a cat.
No, I know you never brought. Have you ever seen one?
No.
No.
I've brought many
What about a
things.
dog?
I've seen a dog. But that's
But
usually
usually
from people...
late in the afternoon,
Yeah.
somebody's out for a walk and they bring a golf club and their dog. That's kind of okay, I guess. Not really.
The second time around hearing the story, I'm starting to kind of churn here with the cat guys.
Why?
Because I feel like cats are just indoor all day, and this
Well,
is
no,
an
it could be an
opportunity
outdoor
for
cat.
them. Yeah, predominantly they're indoor.
Garfield got outside
Got
sometimes.
coyotes
I
out
blame
there.
the three
And he hated
guys
Mondays.
playing with the cat guy more than the cat guy. Like if you knew I was the guy that brought the cat to the golf course, would you ever invite me to play golf?
Well, it depends.
And you can't get mad
Is
at
it a
the
festive cat or like...
It
does
was
do-
trained. It would run into the
Right.
box when they asked it to.
Does it do tricks?
Didn't appear
Like,
to
will
do
it go
any
get my
tricks.
ball and bring it back? Like, that's interesting.
It's a good question. I don't know.
Those people.
Cat.
That's
Okay.
I can't help. I don't know which one is the Lakers' path could have gone this way or the cat. Both of them are giving me migraines.
Okay, is there a scenario in which this cat guy totally surprised his friends with this cat?
No.
Like, they had no idea this cat was coming.
No.
He comes out with a carrier,
No.
and they're like, wait, bro, why are you bringing a cat? And now
No.
you can't put the cat in the
By
car.
the way, this is not a cheap. I know where Travis plays, and the reason I don't play is because it's more expensive than I would prefer to
It's
play.
not inexpensive.
So you paid to bring your cat,
So
and the guys with him paid to play golf with the guy with a cat.
we're on the putting green, which is near the first hole.
Right.
They pull the one golf cart pulls up there. The second one pulls up, and he says to the other two guys, "Hey, I'll be right back. I got to go get.
I got to get the litter box.
I got to go get. I don't forget what the cat's name is.
Litter
I got to
box
go
is
get
always-
Mittens.
Felix.
And he
Well, yesterday it was
disappears,
Pedro.
and he comes back. Pedro, Mittens, Felix, whatever you want.
Was it really Pedro?
Yeah, I called him Pedro yesterday.
But was
he
it?
said- he
is that-
gave,
oh,
he gave him a name, and he went with Pedro.
I think that's a good name for a cat.
Sven.
Sven, Hans, Pedro, Luis. Could be anything.
Anything.
And so the guy drive, like, look, I'm sure you've done this. I've done this. Sometimes you want to bring a six-pack or more. So you drive out to the parking lot, you load up your cart, and then you drive back and you just kind of skip the whole process. Only they didn't go out there to pick up a six-pack. They went out there to pick up Pedro,
the cat.
the cat. Yes.
1,000%.
So they
Pedro
knew,
moving
like
forward.
the guy left. They came back. They knew that the guy was coming back with a cat.
Okay, well, here's the situation. They arrive, and you're like, wait, you brought the cat today?
I like this
And
end.
you have to...
But he's a cat guy. Like, so here's the problem. I understand what
Man,
you're
not
trying
the
to make.
cat again.
Yeah,
So
I
you're-
didn't know
you're-
this angle. This
You're,
is a
you're
good
saying
angle.
that when they invite, let's say Dave is Pedro's owner. Okay.
Yep.
So they say, Dave calls and says, "Hey, you guys want to play golf?" They're like, "Yeah, sure." Is
So
Pedro coming?
Dave named
They
his
know he's
cat-
the cat guy.
Dave named his cat Pedro.
Yes.
Okay, here's the situation. We know Slee loves Rookie. Rookie is his best friend. Slee
My
loves
buddy.
Rookie.
Yep.
Okay, so you're going golfing. Slee's like, I can't wait to meet up with you guys. You two are there with him. And then he's like, oh wait, I gotta grab Rookie too. So you didn't know he was bringing Rookie, but he does love Rookie, and he brings Rookie a lot of places.
I've loved many a women. I don't bring them on the golf course.
That would be one of those. Al, you brought your dog.
yeah,
And
the
then-
guys
and-
that I play with, they go,
yeah.
you brought your girl?
Right.
What are you doing?
And you would say, "Yeah, is that not cool?" And we'd say, "No, not really."
Right.
And
And then I would say, well, we're already here.
And I'd say, yeah,
the car.
I get it. You got to find somebody to watch that dog for the next 4 hours. You got to bounce.
You gotta move
can't
your
bring
tea
your
time.
dog.
you gotta
You
go
have to move
drive to
your tea
Arrowhead
time.
and back.
Or
Yeah,
do
well,
Arrowhead.
Oh yeah, that was a good. I
it's-
heard that at the end of
it's-
Sedano and Cap last night.
It's on the list. We're gonna ask about that. I was
The same notes as yesterday?
no. It was up all night thinking about. There's so many variables in that story that just don't make any sense to me.
Here's the funny thing about that, and this won't sort of shock you.
You're tossing and turning, thinking about Slee.
yes.
Oftentimes, when we know Lakers talk is coming up, and when I'm in on the afternoon show, there's a lot of buildup to talk to Slee and do Supercross talk. And there's a lot of confusion that goes on. Is Slee there? Is he not?
Okay.
And sometimes we're waiting for 2 minutes for the confirmation. I don't know why.
Okay.
So Sedano, I believe producer Lindsay, mentioned that she heard the story.
Yeah.
And so there's about a 90-second buildup as they're waiting for confirmation in our ears, or their ears, to say, Slee's there. Slee then pops up. They go, oh, man, oh, finally, Slee, blah, blah, blah. And he just does his usual, kill the bit. Oh, there's no story here. And
Oh,
he-
there is.
No, there's a story. And he was holding back because he knows maybe Morales is listening. And tomorrow he's going to come hard on a
No,
live imaging.
no,
Do you know
no.
the details of the story?
I got a little bit, but again, Slee was very tight-lipped about
Well,
the
Well,
story.
we have new listeners every day.
Because they said their version of the story was incorrect. So I had to just say, guys, I know that story
What was
sounds-
their version of the story?
Well, why don't we do that
was-
coming up
Okay,
next?
let's do that.
That's called the
because-
tease. Slee.
Let's do it now and then have no tease.
No, I want to know their version of events. Then we can get to the version of events, and
Okay.
I'll get out my checklist of questions because it really is like I was watching the Dodger game last night. I'm like, wait,
Sure.
why just go? Why not go at all? Like there was
Right.
a cavalcade of questions that I need to get to. It's all
Bueller
coming
and
up.
Sliwa,
Yes,
Lake Arrowhead. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly right. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN.
You never black and gold are hitting Sin City.
Oh, that's a golazo!
LAFC enter the U.S. Open Cup in the round of 32 as they look to dim the bright lights of Vegas.
Oh, the 32-52. Dale, black and gold.
It's win or go home as Los Angeles Football Club battle Las Vegas Lights FC. Coverage begins Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on the home of the black and gold, 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Whoa, 10:18 on a live imaging Tuesday on the Travis and Sliwa show. We just heard the story about Travis. I guess you guys heard it for the second time, but it was new to me. And as Emily said, there's always a new audience about the Pussycat Sunday at Travis's golf course.
I kind of want to see it again. I want to go back at the same time next Sunday and see if it's still there. See if they have a standing 840 with the cat.
And maybe he's cool with the club, and then he's like, "Oh yeah,
he's the club mascot."
Exactly, and maybe you're the one that's being.
Maybe you're the bad guy.
I don't. Unless everybody behind us was equally bad guy as I am, I was not the only one.
By the way, have you voted for Travis and Sliwa as the show of the year? Mandy's 3 voting. By the way, the Mandy's Saturday, June 22nd at Commerce Casino. I know there's a lot of questions because usually by now we've sold it out. That's why we're holding tickets. Tickets go on sale possibly at the end of May, maybe the first week of June. And just to inform, this year, because we heard your feedback, and when I say you, the listeners, our fans, everybody will be at a table. Everybody will have dinner as part of the purchase, and that information is coming. So start thinking about if you bought a table with 9 people, who would you have on there? Start giving it some thought. Meanwhile, vote for the awards that we'll give out that night. Go to ESPNLA.com or ESPNLA.com and click on the Mandy's 3 voting page logo presented by the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Injury attorneys you can trust. It's like family. A la familia. 213-747-2000. 213-747-2000. Vote now, vote early, and vote often. And according to reports this year, this wasn't my decision. I didn't really have a dog in the fight or a cat in the fight. But we have now found out
use cat. Yeah, use cat in the fight.
That voting multiple times is allowed.
Oh.
Wow.
So vote early, vote often, and vote the Travis and Sliwa show. But vote for a different host of the year just to kind of, but don't vote for Mason. So Kaplan won, Sliwa won. Yep. We don't want to see Sliwa back to back, and we don't want to see Mason finally get what he wants so bad.
I will refuse to accept the election results unless Emily wins.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Producer, yeah. I'm not to be hosting.
Don't-
No, I understand that.
Don't
but I'm
tell
just
other
saying.
people, but I might have voted for producer Emily when I cast my
Hey,
vote.
and I know that our Travis and Sliwa All-Stars are rabid fans. I love
Good.
talking to all you guys, so make sure you vote
Rally the
early and
base,
often.
Em. Rally the base.
Yes.
ESPNLA.com.
We got to take down a dynasty. Come on. You want an underdog.
That's
Now
right.
I'm the underdog.
Absolutely. I have a question that's going to make you make the face at me, and you're going to go, "This guy right here. This might get me one of those, Slee." You
From me or from
I
Slee?
might
From
have.
you.
I might have the same response. We might have similar questions. Go ahead.
So you're talking about how you listen to the people, and they're going to get dinner, and they're going to be at a table, and all that stuff.
Yes.
What's the bar situation? Do we know yet?
So we have.
Good question.
Thank you.
So there's a new man in charge at Commerce Casino.
Okay.
A new person. Great guy named Spencer. And when I met Spencer for the first time, I said, here's the thing, because he said, I heard the Mandy's were a great event. I said, well, we won't be, even though we're under contract, we might have to get out of it if this doesn't fix quickly. And I gave the feedback of a lot of our fans and our own people and family that came to the show that other than the bottle I had backstage, that was the easiest way to get a drink. But most people,
Yeah, a
it
little
was
difficult.
very difficult to get a drink or water,
Yeah.
which obviously water's key. So I have been told, and I've seen the math, and I've seen the layout. When you save 6 times something, is that like, is there,
6X.
we're 6X on bartenders
Oh,
bars.
let's go.
Let's go.
So, and by the way, we're in a different space where a lot of the boxing
6X?
events. So getting a drink this time, or water, or whatever you want,
Yeah, it's a good solution.
it's a good solution, I believe.
You might get an interesting speech from me.
So Mandy's 3 is going to be a night
She
to
just
remember.
goes up there no matter what, and she's like, "Give me the mic."
I start roasting.
And by the way, this
She's
year,
Robert Kraft from this weekend.
because last year, when the post game began, or the post show, everyone kind of went out from the ballroom and then went into the bars, which are not made for 1,000 people. This year, post game or post show will begin in the same area.
Perfect.
Nice.
So really, we just turn the lights up
You don't
and we
have to
can
go
all
anywhere.
hang.
Yeah.
With 6X
Or
bartenders.
turn the lights down. We can all dance.
Yeah, whatever you're into.
Oh, that's
We
interesting.
could dance. We'll have DJ Ray out there.
You like to dance?
Oh, you know it.
Dude, I got to
Travis
say,
loves to dance,
I saw.
wedding.
Bring your
I'm more
cats,
of a
by the
wedding
way. This is-
exclusive dancer.
This is a cat-friendly event.
I saw something. I don't know if you reposted it, Chris, or I just saw it by one of the other Circle of Trust people. But that AI of you on stage dancing in front of
yeah.
everybody.
Unplug the mic.
Why this?
I don't know
fine
why.
yesterday.
I wish I could tell you why.
By the
But
way,
yes,
that's the mic that's had the least issues.
As the Eagles once said, I can't tell you why.
That would.
Oh, boy.
Nothing.
Maybe you
You
just
gotta
go
smack
home.
it.
No, don't go home. But smack it around. No,
Might
hit
have
it.
to sit
I was
with
told
Chris.
I can go home.
No, I wasn't. When I'm in this room, I don't have that kind of authority. Anyway, well, Travis smacks it in. By the way, we need a
He's
reel.
working on
I
it.
know the social media team, they're having a meeting in there, but we need a reel of all the technical aspects over the last year.
How we do? Oh.
Let's go over here. You gotta-
Where's corporate Greg?
Yeah, you're gonna have to move. Yeah, we got one mic down. But here's the beauty.
But
is
it rotates, which
How about that?
that one's better.
like I've spent a lot of my years, even though I do bits, in the engineering side.
Yeah.
I've helped build studios just because I'm interested in that stuff.
This is like trying to brush your teeth with your left hand. This is impossible.
What is
over here.
going on with the microphones at this radio station? There is no explanation. Maybe it is the Russians. Maybe it's a ghost.
Yeah, there's a plant. There's something going on in here. We have been infiltrated.
We've been cursed.
Yeah, we've been infiltrated.
I don't like looking at you from over here.
Maybe it's the ghost of
Yeah,
Kevin
I don't tell
Kiley.
you.
Kevin's
Kevin
still with
Kiley?
us. Kevin's still alive, by the way. That was just a bit.
Kevin Kiley.
Well, he wants to the show here with DeMarco
I
Fall.
know.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of ghosts, just like in the walls.
Oh, I've said that for years. The walls are haunted here.
So, what version of the Arrowhead story did Sonato and Cap have?
Okay.
They
Oh,
didn't
that's
have-
right.
Yeah, they didn't have the full version. The version they had was basically I went up to Lake Arrowhead, and somebody was, you could call Airbnb-ing it.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, it's not an Airbnb. This
So
is
when
actually,
you and Lady Sleep made the effort, you packed
Yeah.
up the car, there was no thought that somebody would be in this house.
Not at all.
Now, give background on what the house is. It belongs to whom?
It's a condo in Lake Arrowhead. Her parents own the condo. Okay, so we probably haven't been up there in the last couple of months. But
Now,
we'll
did
go
Lady
up.
Slee, because I want to find out
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
of her.
yeah.
Did Lady Slee
Yeah.
call her parents or text them and say, hey, Slee and I
Yeah.
don't know if she calls you Slee, to them, maybe.
Yep. She says Slee. Exactly.
Slee and I
Yep.
are headed up to Lake Arrowhead this
By the
weekend.
way, if she said Alan and I, that sounds weird.
Yeah.
Like Slee and I are going to go. That sounds right.
What if she wrote Alan Sliwa and I? Mandy's 2 host of the year and I. Anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
So your question was...
Does she tell her
The
parents,
same one
hey,
that we all asked yesterday.
Slee and I are headed up to the house.
Is it vacant? Are we good?
That communication was not made.
Oh.
So there were some calls. There were some calls.
I'm not done.
Look, I'm going to give you a little detail.
Okay.
There were some calls on Friday from Michelle to her parents.
Lady Slee
to her parents.
Stick with the brands.
And her parents did not call back.
They did not call back.
But her parents are out of the country right now.
Okay.
So they're not here.
But texting works out of the country.
Well, they eventually called back, but they called back on Saturday.
Yes.
Michelle didn't see the missed calls on her WhatsApp.
That happened to Bobby at the end of The Sopranos. He got the missed calls.
So then there was
he on the train set at that point?
Well, too late.
So then there was just the assumption of the chances of somebody being there without her knowing is very, very small.
Very small.
Up until this weekend.
Let me ask one more follow-up before we get to that.
Yeah.
Does Lady Slee have numerous siblings?
And
do they all use the home at times?
She's got 2 brothers, and they do not use it all the time. And if one of them had it, she would have known.
Okay.
So she would have known about that.
So now you head up. You pack Rookie in the car.
Rookie's in the car.
Everybody's excited. You got snacks. You're ready.
Well, I don't even know
It's a Saturday
excited
morning.
because it's
Now you
this
just
is-
hit on the very key point right there. What you just said.
No road snacks?
No. What did you just say? You get on the road
Saturday.
morning. Now we're into the part that just boggles my mind.
This is the Walker Buehler moment for him during the Dodger game.
By the way, we will get to the Walker Buehler.
He was more interested in why I left so late.
Equally
there's
for sure.
162 games.
Yeah.
We got plenty of time.
No,
to talk
I'm
about
not
this.
worried
What I'm
about
saying
that.
is while he was watching the game is when these questions
So
started
what
coming
time? Obviously, it wasn't morning.
Yeah.
What time did you... Like what time?
Between 7 and 7:30
a.m.?
p.m.
Saturday.
Okay.
That's the correct face. That's the correct face.
Between 7 and 7:30.
No, I'm just going to say something. Yeah. I had the option of going out of town this weekend with somebody.
Yep.
And it was like a fun, maybe golf, maybe like whatever. When I said I don't think I can get out of I don't think I can stop work on Friday at 1 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So it's probably either late Friday night or early Saturday morning. They were saying no. Then what's the point for you? We'll just plan another thing and we'll get more people involved. So I'm just giving you that objection.
Background?
Background on how most people would think.
Sure.
So let's go.
This is the part that bothered me during the Dodger
Let's go
game
up to the
last night.
Arrowhead house at 7
like
p.m.
that it bothered you, and I still don't understand it. But yeah.
Okay, so you leave now, 7 p.m. Rookie's asleep. Lady Slee's probably going to take a nap.
She's chilling.
You're just going to drive up to the Arrowhead house at night.
About an hour and a half from Pasadena.
Right, okay. So you begin that journey. Mm-hmm. Did it take an hour and a half?
Hour and a half.
So you pull up to the house. Mm-hmm.
A little less than an hour.
It's 9:30. If this was the 80s, Hunter's about to come on at 10 o'clock.
Saturday night,
NBC. Now what happens?
So then we pull up.
Now when you pull up, do you take all your luggage out? Although not much luggage. You're only there for 12 hours.
They're for a
day.
night's sleep.
We're there for a day.
breakfast.
Are the steaks still in the cooler?
Steaks are still in the cooler.
When are we going to cook those steaks? The next day?
Next day.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll cook them the next day. Okay, so what was your question? So we pull up.
You pull up.
So the way this condo is, it's shared parking. Okay. So you don't have... Technically, you could have individual parking, but that's down a little bit further. So there's always available parking. She sees lights on in the condo. So whatever we're talking about, she's like, back up for a quick second. I'm like, sure. Back up. She's like, there's lights on in the condo. Let me call my brother real quick. She calls her brother. Hey, somebody here? No, not that I know of.
Right.
Then now she's calling her folks. By the time she gets in touch with her folks, hey, my assistant, yes, could be staying up there
Lady
this weekend.
Slee's assistant or
No.
your folks?
Her folks.
Okay.
Her folks.
Your future in-laws.
Her folks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't bite on that.
So she ends up saying that, and then I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go down there, and I'm going to go just take a look here. Let me just make sure that these lights weren't left on from whoever else they there. No, there's people in there. Yeah, you could hear people in there, lights upstairs on, lights downstairs. So there's people there. So then we...
By the way, the hand gesture is amazing from Slee on
did a
this.
quick little kind of U-ey here to
Right.
get through the... Yeah.
But you made a quick stop before you drove down the hill.
Well, I was going to get to that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's another part of the
Yep.
equation that
So-
I'm very interested in.
kind of U-turned there.
You make a U-turn.
And then kind of pulled out, went to an area where it was a little less there's less people, let's just say. I'd use the restroom, so I went and handled business at 9:30 at night when it was freezing cold. Rookie had to handle business as well. He did what he did. And then we started driving a little bit towards I was basically going to go to the first stop, and there was a gas station at the first stop. I stopped there, and I made a sandwich because I was hungry.
No, really?
With the food that we
Oh,
had.
you made
that
a
I was
sandwich.
supposed
They
to
had a
make
cooler. They had
sandwich
provisions.
that I was supposed to make a sandwich inside of the Lake Arrowhead cabin, but we didn't do that.
Was this
so made a
just
sandwich.
purely out of necessity that you were hungry and you needed to eat something?
Or were you upset?
I think that
And you wanted to make a point like, hey, hun,
right
I'm going to make a sandwich.
in the gas station parking
How is it
lot.
that you didn't check the boxes that needed to be checked?
Well, then if that's the question, then it's both.
Were you so you were
Yeah,
irritated?
I was definitely irritated.
Right.
And then I was also hungry. Like
Yeah.
I was going to make a
But
sandwich.
was
when
it
I got
more,
there.
hey, look, I haven't had anything to eat in several hours. I need a little sandwich. Or was it, I'm going to make a point by doing a gas station parking lot
Yeah.
sandwich. So she'll know that I should be making this in the kitchen of the condo, but rather I'm making it in the Chevron parking lot.
A power move.
It was
Yes, indeed.
not a power move, but it was an angry preparation sandwich. You know what I mean? It was just like
Just some mayo, angry mayo.
I gotta go to
Mayo angrily.
I got to go to the
Cheese on
Chevron and get a
there.
packet of mayo. See what you made me do?
put that on there.
The house would have mayo.
I even put avocado on there. You know, and then
Unbelievable.
ate it in the car because it was 9 degrees outside. And
So
we just
now
sat
you
there in the
decide-
car, complete silence.
Oh, there was
She was
silence.
having crackers and cheese, and I'm having.
Now, was there an apology? Did she say, I'm sorry, babe?
Of course she did.
Okay. And what did you say?
I had nothing to say.
Okay.
I
Now,
had nothing to say until Sunday. Sunday was when I was prepared to actually have a conversation.
You said, "Hey,
So-
come here. You want a sandwich?"
but I'm guessing you
Wasn't
didn't,
offering
you guys didn't
sandwiches
sleep in the car. You didn't sleep in the car.
Did you
that night.
offer to make her a sandwich? That's a good question.
I did
On
offer,
Sunday.
yeah.
On
Okay.
Sunday.
No, I'm talking
No, even on
Saturday
Saturday.
gas
So do you-
station
Saturday, you
sandwich.
kind of have to. Like,
So
I
do you
was in
then decide to head back?
finish my sandwich in the car?
Right.
Actually, I had about a couple bites left, and I felt like, all right, I'm ready to go.
Hey, last bite. Turn the car on this roll.
Put the
In
car
the fog, by
reverse.
the way.
By the way, it's like a 1994 Pontiac.
Yeah, with
It's on the column. He's got the gear shift on
Rolled
the
the
column.
window down, backed up again, and down the mountain I went.
In
Now-
fog.
Now, obviously, that would be a very tough drive for myself, given my anxieties of the world
Yeah.
recently over the last few years.
Oh, you would not have made it up the hill because there was so much fog on this evening. Like you couldn't see
So
10 feet in front of you.
is there an option to just get a hotel or something?
No.
So you now have to make that drive down the
Yeah,
hill.
I'm making the drive. I had ordered.
There's
that
no
was
like
already.
just like Super 8 or anything like that. Just look, I don't want to drive home in the fog. We'll just crash at this place and call it a night and we'll get out of here in the morning.
not one thought.
Oh,
Not one thought or just not available. Just not doesn't exist.
Not one thought.
Okay.
Like buck and a half. We're getting back down, and I'll be in bed by 11 p.m. And that was exactly
Hunter's
what I
over
did.
by that point.
yeah. I mean,
The rerun's coming up.
you see the previews for next week.
Do you argue right
Bonnie
away,
Carson's
or
on.
do you need time?
I honestly wouldn't argue.
Yeah, I need time.
I would
you
not.
said it. You go right
there.
away.
Jorge
Yeah.
would go.
The next day.
I would. It would be one of those. Well, that sucks. And I guess I would stay up there. I would crash. I would not just turn around and come back.
Was there any option to knock on the house and try to get in?
No.
That would have
Hey,
been
Carmen,
the last
there's
option.
3 rooms.
Right? Like, hey,
Here's
we're
why.
the
Here's why.
assistant's family.
It wasn't like it was her brother staying in there.
Right.
Yeah, true.
Right. It's
If
strangers.
it was her brother, it's like, all right,
strangers.
we'll take one of the room. You know, whatever it
It's
is, what it is.
strangers.
These are technically. I mean, she knows them, but still, like that. That's not happening. Yeah. And then we just drove down, got back on the 210, took it all the way up.
I like your hand
So, Chris, let me
signals.
ask you this.
Lake Avenue exit.
How'd you make the sandwich all mad? How'd you make the
Down
sandwich?
freaking- I just was
th-
throwing
this is-
turkey, throwing the turkey on there.
We do need to cut
Cheese
this
on
up.
there,
For-
throwing
for-
everything.
for
Put
the
the
Mandy's
top on
reels,
there. Had to
the
kind of
hand
like
gestures.
and just sat in the car and just ate it dry.
You mentioned that you had.
There's nothing on that damn thing.
Sourdough bread.
There was nothing.
Cold sourdough bread.
Nearly choked.
Not even toasted or warm.
No, not at all.
You mentioned that you were considering a weekend trip.
Yeah.
Right. But if I can't get out of here Wednesday afternoon, or best case scenario, late Friday, early Saturday.
Right.
And at that point, it's just not worth the trouble, right?
Exactly.
That at that point, it's like by the time we get up there, we're gonna have to just pack it up, turn around,
Right.
and come right back home.
Right.
What do you make of the fact? Because this is the part that kept me stewing all night long.
I'll tell you more next.
What do
I'll
you
tell you more
make?
next.
What do you make of? I know you're going to tell me next, but the decision
What if we do it now and then kill the tease?
To start the trip at 7:30 at night on a Saturday. That's coming up next. It's Travis Slee.
Game 1 was on.
710 ESPN. Chris was talking about it, right? Slee, Prize Picks, more or less. That's what Prize Picks is. You pick between 2 and 6 players. You choose more or less on their statistical projections, and you can win up to 100 times your money. For instance, you probably wanted to go less on Jamal Murray last night. You probably wanted to go less on the Joker last night. Probably wanted to go more on Anthony Edwards. That's what Prize Picks is. There's baseball, there's hockey, there's NBA. Use that promo code 710 for a $100 deposit match.
All right, like Trav just mentioned, we, of course, got all these NBA games going on right now. How about Celtics got a game tonight? Thunder got a game tonight. I'm looking at one team in the Eastern Conference, one team in the Western Conference. Jalen Williams, probably the more underrated players left in the NBA. All right, you kind of add some twist to tonight's game, even though you don't have a dog in the fight. Jalen Williams, more or less than 20 points. Jaylen Brown, who's one of the other players I was talking about, more or less than 23.5 points. Again, you can have some skin in the game. I made my first $10 deposit, received an instant $10 bonus. If you have the skills, you can play for a shot at turning $10 into $1,000. Download the app today. Use code 710 for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's code 710 on Prize Picks for a deposit match of up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
The most followed.
The black and gold are hitting Sin City.
Oh, that's a golazo!
LAFC enter the U.S. Open Cup in the round of 32 as they look to dim the bright lights of Vegas.
Oh, the 32-52. Dale, black and gold.
It's win or go home as Los Angeles Football Club battle Las Vegas Lights FC. Coverage begins Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on the home of the black and gold, 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
On a Live Imaging Tuesday, this is the song that was playing when Slee had to come down the mountain from Lake Arrowhead late on a Saturday night.
I was Trav on that night. It was just silence.
Well, you were mad at Lady Slee.
Just nothing.
Rookie, don't even look at me, rookie.
You get to spend some time with yourself.
But here's the
to
problem.
Think about some things.
Rookie, I felt the worst for. Rookie's sitting back there like, what
Cooped
the hell
up.
is going on? We just
3
said we're
hours
going to
in
Lake
the
Arrowhead.
Back of the Sleemobile.
Now, I've never been in your home. You've never invited me to your home. Unlike every other host here, I haven't been in your home.
You've been in everybody else's home.
Yes, actually.
Ireland?
Yeah, well, I haven't been there, but I've been there years ago.
Okay.
But I'm invited.
Shannon's?
I've been invited anytime if you want to come over, come over.
Sure.
John's going to be like, hey, Chris, come on in.
Hey, Mace.
But you've never actually invited me. So I don't know, but I'm just guessing.
I mean, also, do you get past the guards at Ireland's?
Yeah, it's fine. They're like, Morales, huh? I guess. They call John, though.
Who said you could come in?
Hey, John.
Hey, Mace. Hey, Mace, I think I got something here.
I almost made a joke. I won't. Anyway.
That's how we greet you.
I'm guessing that Lady Slee and you and Rookie have a lovely home, which means making the decision to leave on a Saturday night at 7 o'clock for a 90-minute drive to only spend 12 hours up there?
Not 24 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were going to come back Sunday night at 9 o'clock?
Sunday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that excludes the travel time, or includes the travel time.
Now, is this something you guys do
you
often?
want me to over and under 22 and a half hours
I think
here?
it's
Go
less
21
than a
hours.
full day.
Let's go 21 hours.
I'm tired a lot.
Plus, that includes the sleeping.
At this age, and
So let's get the 7 hours of sleeping, and now we're down to like 14.
Basically, you're having breakfast. You're leaving.
That's what I'm getting at.
with so much,
That's the whole point.
with so much work that we all do, we all overwork very hard.
Yeah.
Mace, not as much as us, but that's fine.
Why did he catch one right there?
Well, he doesn't have anything. Well, I guess he's got his podcast.
Yeah.
But fine. Anyway, yeah, I'm sure. Anyway,
With guest Emily Hebel.
Oh, that's right.
2 weeks ago.
That's right.
yeah. Anyway, I just don't understand. I don't think Travis understands. I don't know about Em or Jorge.
Yep.
Why not leave Saturday morning?
It's a good question.
If you think the house is, or Friday night, if you like to drive at night up there, why not leave Friday night and say, hey, we're going to spend 2 days.
Can I offer a third option?
Pack some more steaks.
Sure.
Can I offer a third option?
Yeah.
You know what? Got caught up in this basketball game. How about we just do it next weekend?
Possibly a great solution.
Yeah.
Although next week
Because
is Mother's
the
Day.
condo, as you've pointed out, is frequently available.
Yeah.
It's available. It's not like this is our, hey, we got to do it. We got a late start. Like the game, hey, this game, oh my God, got away from me. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Why don't we just go next weekend?
There's a couple reasons.
Go ahead.
Couple reasons.
Go ahead.
Number one, it's my life. And if I want to go up for 21 hours, I'm going to go up for 21 hours.
14. Can't count the sleep, Al.
I
like
count
14.
the sleep because my head is on a pillow in Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah, but you're asleep. You're not doing anything.
Okay, here's why we didn't go Friday night.
Okay.
Friday night we couldn't go. Friday night,
Why'd you have to do like Nuggets post game or something?
there was a birthday. One of her best friends had a birthday. We had to go to a Friday night dinner. Maybe had a few extra drinks, things along those lines. So Saturday morning was kind of a slow morning. My original plan was 8:30 on Saturday morning.
That was your original plan.
And then Friday night, I'm like, ain't nobody getting up at 7:30 and do. I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Okay.
So we're like, let's play this off a little bit lazier. We'll go a little bit later. And then all of a sudden, I kick the can down we just get up there around noon. And Saturday morning, we're sitting there and, hey, how long is it up there? 2 hours plus. That's my fault, right?
Right.
Just
once you're
because
past, yes.
once
Saturday,
you're past certain amount of
Saturday
certain
traffic
time.
is worse than weekday traffic.
Saturday traffic is worse. Go down to San Diego takes forever. So now I've already kind of screwed it up, and I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to drive 2 hours and 15 minutes up there when it's like $1.25. So I'm going to kick the can a little bit further
Now,
down
is
the
this
road.
this is getting into the nitty gritty here, but you have to drive like Lady Slee.
She can drive. I like driving.
Oh, you like?
Yeah, I don't mind driving.
Would you be nervous if she was driving?
She goes faster than me.
Okay.
Yeah, there are times where it's like
Susan drives like Jeff Gordon.
Susan.
There are times. By the way, does that not throw you off? I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
You know what?
Here?
I think I put my finger on it.
Like, there's a little bit of this going on. I'm like, you didn't even signal. Like, everybody relax here for a
Brenda
second.
honks and gets flipped off, and she flips off people back.
Susan is not doing that.
What is going on the roads?
I think we stumbled into it the other day when we were talking about it. Because she is a first responder, right? And she has her badges and her stethoscopes and all that. I think she knows she's not going to get a ticket.
Really?
Yeah. And I think that's why she drives the way she does.
I'm less worried about the
Maybe because
ticket.
she has never gotten a ticket.
No, she's gotten a few, but never. Oh, the only time she's gotten them is when she's not in scrubs or her ID isn't very visible when she gets stopped.
I'm less worried about ticket.
Jorge's got a stethoscope in his car. I mean, I don't know why, but I don't even really know what that means.
I don't know either.
But everybody thought, that's supposed to be naughty, isn't it?
Well, it could
he
mean a
going
lot
with
of
that?
things. Maybe he moonlights as an EMT. Who knows?
Yeah, I just fear for my life sometimes. I'm like, let's
All right, so
slow down.
that's so her driving is not an option.
No, it is an option, but I was going to drive.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to drive.
All right.
And then we got closer to 4 o'clock, and we know what happens
But
at
then
3:30.
another 3 hours went by.
Well, then the game was on.
So, okay, that's what I'm getting at. Like, at that point, it's like, hey, you know what? I really want to watch this.
Yeah.
By the time this game's over, it's going to be 7 o'clock.
But I'm not a quitter. You see, I could have quit right there and said, let's kick the can down the road to the next weekend. I'm not kicking the can down the road. I'm going up there also I could go up and see other people are staying there. The lights are on, and I turn around and eat a sandwich at a gas station.
Not a gas station sandwich.
No, my
That's
sandwich.
what I was like, one of those tuna sandwiches in the plastic triangle.
You know what I was waiting for? Is I'm preparing a sandwich and somebody like walks by like,
take a ham and cheese.
how much? How much for that? I'm like, all right, we got a little
Can
business going on here.
Make a little money.
$6 here.
I don't know. Go ahead and give us a call. 877-710-ESPN.
Oh, we're gonna.
Well, I'm curious.
We're gonna burn more segments on this.
No,
I'm impressed that we've stretched this about a segment and a
I
quarter.
don't know how interested others are, but
I can't let it go. I want to know if it's just me being me, and I'm preoccupied with the details of it all.
You're not wrong on why didn't you just go earlier?
Or
Why didn't you
not
spend
go at
2
all.
straight days
Or
there?
not go at all.
But it's my life.
No, I understand
and
that,
I wanted
but
21
I
hours
just-
up there,
I
including the 7 hours of sleep.
the 7 and 14.
and 4 hours of commuting.
Yeah. Hey, look, if this is me just being weird, that's fine. I need confirmation that the way you did it is wrong.
Now, one last question.
Could it also be this, knowing that, like, I didn't pay for this?
No,
I could go, but do you see what I'm saying?
I
That
do.
like there is a
I
little
do.
bit of like
But
I could go up anytime.
All the more,
I'll just leave. And
all
go
the
home.
more reason to kick it down the road to another weekend. Like, had you paid for it and it just look, I've already spent the money. I'd rather spend half a day up there than no
But
days up there.
I already told Rook. Rook already thought we were going up.
And he totally understands.
That's the best
Full
excuse that
conversation
I've
with
heard so far. Hey, did you see? Coming up next, it's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
The black and gold are hitting Sin City.
Oh, that's a golazo!
LAFC enter the U.S. Open Cup in the round of 32 as they look to dim the bright lights of Vegas.
Oh, the 32-52. Dale, black and gold.
It's win or go home as Los Angeles Football Club battle Las Vegas Lights FC. Coverage begins Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on the home of the black and gold, 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Go!
10 minutes in front of 11 a.m. on a live imaging Tuesday presented by Kia, downtown Los Angeles. It is time for Hey, What's Up, Fool? Take it away, producer Jorge.
Hey, what's up, foos?
What's up?
So,
Buenos dias.
Well, buenos dias. Vote for Jorge. Vote often. We just realized that you can
Vote
vote more
early
than
and
once.
vote often at ESPNLA.com.
Thank you, Shohei Otani. Buenos dias. All right, guys. So I told you guys earlier that I went down this rabbit hole from GQ magazine, and it's called the top 10 essentials or 10 things that you would need. But for the because of we don't have that much time.
Sure.
I want to ask you guys, what are 3 things that are essential for you throughout your day that you must have? Let's make some rules here. Let's take out your wallet. Like, forget about the wallet, your keys.
We don't
your
have a
cell
wallet
phone.
anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So forget about your rubber band. So what are the top 3 things, or some of the 3 things that you need throughout your day?
Like items themselves?
Items.
Because
Yeah.
there are 2 things that if they don't go right, the rest of the I need to have had at least 6
That's
hours
exactly
of
what it
sleep.
is.
Your Dove bar soap
Yeah.
or whatever you used to wash yourself.
We're
Beaver.
currently on Dr. Squatch. We're in a doctor.
Hey,
we're-
those are good. I
Aren't those great?
Yes, I have the black
Which
one
one
with the
you-
oats.
Oh, it's pine tar.
Yes,
That's
pine
a
tar.
great
That's a
one.
really good
Yes,
one.
yes.
Is that the one where you like clean your body and it looks like you're filthy,
Yes,
dirty?
yes.
I might have that too.
Yeah. So the bourbon barrel, pine tar are the 2 best ones.
What a sham. They gave us basically dirt and was like, hey, you're clean.
I feel clean. My hair's clean. 6 hours of sleep or more. Coffee. And at some point, I need to be outside. Like, it's not necessarily
Ooh, I like that.
a thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't have
No,
like
that's
the rest of it is kind of clean.
Yeah.
Coffee, sleep.
How about your sneakers for your walks?
Oh, brushing your teeth too.
Well, I'm
think-
covered. I got toothbrushes in 7 different places.
In the car.
I think this was, because I've watched the GQ, I want to say Clay had it one time.
Clay had
There's
it.
a
The
lot.
guy from Tangled was the one that I watched.
Josh O'Connor.
Josh, yes, that guy. Jerry
I feel
Seinfeld's
like
another
I've
one.
accomplished something.
Jerry
Okay,
Seinfeld's another
couple
one.
essentials, and I'm going to use it more like items. My AirPods. Everywhere I go, I kind of take those with me, right? Just,
Really?
Yeah. I
Big AirPod guy. Okay.
take going on walks, whatever the case. I always have them with me. I think
One
what
or
you
2.
said
I know you take it, but do you listen to like you have one in, you're
So let me
listening,
give- let me
or
give you an
can you hear
example.
the environment with
yesterday. I started with one. If I could do one, great. But I don't know what it was. Yes, I got to have the second one on. If I'm doing music, they both got to be on.
Sure.
Because there's just no point of.
Sounds like a tin can otherwise.
Yeah, no point of having them. What you said about the outdoor, that's a big one. Like, that's one where if you don't have that, if you don't get that opportunity to go for that walk, if you don't get that opportunity to just be outdoor, you feel it. Like, your energy is low. I think that's a really good one. And I think we're all stuck on this, and I wish it wasn't the case. And I know I could do it, but it's so difficult. If I don't have a cup of coffee, I don't know how to operate. And that's so bad that we're dependent on it, but that's another one.
Yeah.
Okay. So mine is, I think, number 1 overall for me, and I could feel it yesterday because I did not have one with me, and I was constantly thinking about it, a hair tie. So for me, if I'm going to go throughout the day, I definitely need a hair tie because I get really frustrated if I'm hot and I'm sweaty and I can't pull my hair back. And so I need a hair tie, number 1 essential. Number 2 essential, a fun drink. So that's like a soda or like a poppy or like a seltzer.
Those poppies are pretty good, by the way.
Yeah, just some sort of fun
sparkling
drink.
water.
It
I'm
makes
with
me want to live. So my little fun drinks are great. And then for me recently is, I'm going to call it Cinematrix, but generalized like a brain game. So I need some sort of like, so Cinematrix is like the Immaculate Grid, but for movies.
Okay.
And so Cinematrix,
Oh,
I love
yeah.
playing it. It's the best. I need some sort of brain game that will ignite just like, a little trivia part of me. So that's my essentials.
You should
I
do
don't
the
have brain
basketball
games.
grid, Slee. You'd like it. There's the NBA version of Immaculate Grid. You should do it.
Okay.
We could come in and talk our grids every day.
Tell me what we need to do. I'm in.
Just
is
go
that the
to
baseball?
I'll show you during the
Okay.
break, and you can have one done by the time we come back.
I think it would be funny if one day we all
be fun.
switched our Immaculate Grid and see who could get the best score. Like, say, for example, you guys had a Cinematrix that was, like, really catered towards you.
Unless it was the Pixar films or something from the 80s, I have no chance.
They are a lot of times those things.
Okay.
And so a lot of times it'll be like, a Pixar movie with Jennifer Connelly, and then you had, I know she isn't in anyone,
wait,
but like
hold
I don't
on.
think she is. But I'm just saying, it'll be something,
See, if you guys want to know what my list, I
Yes.
would go with a hat.
Oh, yeah, you do wear that
I need
more.
chocolate. Like
Every day?
I eat chocolate every day in any form. I can get a Snicker bar here. I can get a cupcake. Sometimes I share with Emily or whatever.
Gotta have chocolate.
I gotta have chocolate
that sugar
and a cup of coffee, or if not, the mate that I have at home, and I drink that at home. Those are the top 3 things that I could definitely need.
You ever wash your hair with that bar of oat pine tar soap?
Those are so good.
Isn't
but
that
they're
great?
expensive though.
They are.
They're like $15 or $12.
What do you mean?
Oh
No.
my God.
You're buying. We're not talking about the same thing. These are not the
Dr.
ones. Dr. Squatch.
Let me
They're
tell
not
you something.
$15 a bar.
Let me tell you something about
they're
Travis
expensive,
real
like
quick.
$8.
Jorge, he's not paying $15 for a bar.
No.
He's not paying $15 for a bar. Okay.
Well, you probably get 3 for 15.
Please
or
don't
something.
even talk to me. I spend $30 on my shampoo.
It's not $15 a bar.
Those commercials are dope too, though.
They're funny.
They're pretty
They're
funny commercials.
and they have very masculine scents. They're like leather and
And you know it works.
bourbon
Brenda's
and
like
things
hooked. Like, oh, come
No,
on.
it's-
No, I'm just kidding.
Look, there's
They
some
want to smell like bourbon.
ancillary benefits.
That's a
There's
good
some-
question.
yeah.
Why would you want to smell like bourbon?
It's not it's the bourbon barrel. It's the wood. It's the smoky wood.
I just love how men are like woods and trees and charcoal.
It's better than flowers and
Well, the other one that they have is
beach.
oats and whatever.
Yeah, there's an oat and honey or something.
Oat and
like
honey.
that.
Yeah.
Smell like hot dog.
Hot dogs are
Man.
pretty
Hot
good.
dog water.
There is a weird one.
Man.
It's like a meat thing. I don't know if it's a Squatch,
smell
but
like
there's
bacon. Remember back when like bacon was such a big thing, like what, 2012?
Yeah. Well, it's still pretty good.
Still
Well,
a big
no, it's
thing
like a
in
thing
my
that
house.
everyone
pretty
puts
good.
bacon on like every sort of graphic everywhere.
2 pounds.
There, and there, yeah. Well, and then there
Oh, I
was
got 2
bacon
pounds with me in the
scented
fridge, don't
things.
worry.
Are you back on the bacon?
We're not back on the bacon. We're just cutting out carbs, and it depresses me. And here's why: of how good I feel mentally, physically, weight starting. You can feel the bloat coming off. After I don't know, I stopped on May 1st, so it's not been that long.
Weak.
It's depressing.
You feel better already?
Feel amazingly better.
He
Then
does, but
isn't
it's
that
depressing.
non-depressing?
It is, but I like chips and salsa. I like tacos. I like
French fries.
French fries. I like eating a burger with
Pizza.
bread. I mean, my record on pizza is well defined at this radio station. So, yes, there are options now that are keto options or carnivore options to all those things, but it's not as fun.
It's not as fun. It's not as fun.
I like beer.
Well, who doesn't?
Well,
Walker Buehler made his debut for the first time in 2 years. That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
I like a Tom Jones feel. 11 a.m. in the Southwest on a live imaging Tuesday on the Travis and Sliwa Show. Gosh, Tom could entertain, and I'm going to entertain like that in Mandy's 3. We all are. Vote now at ESPNLA.com.
Vote often.
I got the short cable today on the headphones, so I got to be careful.
Yeah, but you adjusted.
I can adjust. Just more pelvis, less body.
That's what most people were thinking.
That's going to be the title of my book.
Not awful.
Less pelvis, more body?
No, more pelvis,
more
less body.
pelvis, less body. Okay. What's on the cover art for that book?
Well, that could be.
Number 1 bestseller, More Pelvis.
That's amazing.
Should just be
New
the
York
short
Times
wire.
bestseller.
That's it. On your cover, just
Right,
a short
exactly.
wire. That's it.
It could be the picture that you guys witnessed when Cappy a few weeks ago, when Sedano and Cap did mornings, when you witnessed the morning mount,
Yeah, what happened there?
which
I
you
still
could
don't
vote
think-
on
Why did
for
you
Bit of
bring
the
it
Year.
up?
I didn't bring it up.
You just asked. You asked a follow-up
Oh,
question.
yeah, that's right. No, I basically brought it up then.
It was because Cappy came in here and did a whole bit about switching producers,
Okay.
and that was not we did not
like that.
sit.
the portal.
Yeah, we did not sit and have a pre-show meeting like, you know what bit would be good today? No, that was Cappy being Cappy.
And that
causes
who
conversations.
initiated the?
Well, I came in here to hit him over the head with something, which I do often, not in a physical, traumatic way. Just
and I got Three Stooges way, like
yeah.
yeah.
And then he tackled you.
Well, he went for I actually initiated Mount too.
Yeah, I was going to say Chris was
I
the
went after.
instigator.
I tried to pull him down, and I got him down.
say it.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Chris on top.
Nothing.
Was he on top or no? I don't remember.
Oh, I never got him in a full position, so we were both kind of wrestling, and then
So you guys both on your side.
as they say when you do these sort of brawls, don't give up your back. And I gave up my back too quick, and then Cap was ready for this.
Cap was on
the
it.
picture of him coming up. He
Cap
looks like
was
the
on it.
Ultimate Warrior winning the WWE Championship belt that night.
That's right.
Cap was so into the Morning Mount. But by the way, the reason I mentioned Morning Mount, you could vote for that for Bit of the Year at ESPNLA.com.
Don't say why did you bring that up. I needed clarity. I forgot.
Did we have a bit on the bit of the year?
No. The committee didn't select one. And I was like, guys, what's the Travis and Sliwa show bit? And they're like, I don't know. So you know how you can make up for it?
Yeah.
Vote this show as Show of the Year. Host of the Year, Travis Rogers. Man of the People. And apparently Ireland did something yesterday on the air to the Circle of Trust. I think he's been calling them the Circle of Trolls.
Yes, he did.
And they are fighting back. So I see a new play-by-play award going to either JB or
JB or
Here's
Denholm.
what happened. Ireland thought that it's been quote unquote rigged for all these years, that he changed the host of the year every year.
But
and
he
then
always
called
says
it the
this
Circle of
as
Trolls.
his dismissing thing. If I was the one who was in control,
Yeah.
they would have never been Show of the Year
Yeah.
out of the gate. He would never win most knowledgeable host
They were
every year.
Show of the Year last year.
They were Show of the Year the first year.
Mm-hmm.
And Mason won craziest host.
Now, that's a good point that you would have done that against them, but then that also draws to you kind of thinking, playing a little chess here and not checkers.
Okay.
Kind of knowing that you had to do it a little bit.
But just saying that. Do you realize the amount of time I don't have in a given day? So now I'm controlling votes.
That's a lot of time. That's not good.
No, but to kind of drive Ireland away from that, I have to see some of the results.
He has to make all the graphics.
So I see the numbers, I see the data, and it's there.
And I don't see it. So I don't know when I open the envelopes, or like in your case, Momo opened the envelopes.
Yep.
I don't know. Because why would I want to know? How does that make the show fun? That's what I don't think Ireland understands, the aspect of show business, like putting on these shows. If you tell us Showtime,
Yeah, just throw that in
I
there.
just got it really quick.
You got that?
Yep.
how does
Doesn't understand show business. Got it.
how does it make the show better
Put
if I'm
Morales
rigging
there.
it?
Just quote it there. Yeah.
Well, do you think Ireland? When you think, a guy at the radio, let's talk about the people that understand the showbiz aspect and not just this is a sports show. Mm-hmm. Does Ireland come to the top of your mind of, that guy gets it? Now he gets it a little bit. He gets it a lot.
Star effing 30 years. 30 years doing it.
No doubt. But if he knew
Gotta be doing something right.
if he knew what this radio station would become, what it currently is, I don't know if he would have signed up for.
That's a different can of worms.
And I love John as a broadcaster. John is amazing. You want a guy to do a live read, 30 seconds dead on, and make it amazing? That's John. But I don't know why he does this bit every year. And people think it irritates me. It irritates me because a lot of people take the Mandy's seriously, like the people that put a lot of work, taking myself out of it. Jorge does hours. 100 hours of work probably that is put in. Our social media team, all the planning, the people that make all of our graphics and anything. And our listeners care about it tremendously. Obviously, that's why we've sold it out 2 years in a row. So it's just, that's just Ireland's
Riling
goal.
up the base of
Listen.
the Circle of Trolls is never a good idea.
That's not a good idea.
Don't worry. We're going to get to the bottom of it. 1 o'clock, we're going to get to the bottom of it.
Like 12:55. I think we're going to get the dump done early today.
The moment he comes in, we'll go right to Supercross talk, and
Works
that
for me.
gives us a little bit extended
And what
time
is the
there.
quote that I said?
He does not understand show business.
No, I said he doesn't understand the showbiz aspect of it.
When he comes in, you
I think
start.
my quote's more
Still
accurate.
same thing.
No,
Same thing.
he obviously
Same
understands
thing different.
showbiz. He's part of the Lakers. Understand the showbiz aspect of everything. Or the showbiz aspect of the radio station.
I'll add aspect.
And then
There
we
you
could
go.
ask about the Circle of Trust. What happened there? We could put that in there as well.
Wow, that was kind of my thing at 1:15. You guys are kind of blowing my whole...
No, we got it. By the time you have so much time to worry about other stuff now. We'll get this one out of the way. Then 1:15, you'll have something different.
All right. So thank you for filling us in. My point being is I think that two categories he always locks up.
Play-by-play,
knowledgeable host.
Most knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Those could be in play now. Those could be in play.
Well, he's got it's like Tony Gwynn winning a batting title. You got a bunch of them at some point. You just whatever.
Yeah, but I still want to win Personality of the Year.
Yeah, I think you
I
did win
back.
Personality.
I won that last year.
Yeah, you want to back to back.
I want to go back to back or most hated. But I think the Mason Ireland Reddit page is purposely not going to vote for me to stick it to me.
They don't want you to win it. Yeah.
Which, by the way, the fact that we're even giving it out, I'm excited about.
You like that award?
I think it's a good like it can't all be butterflies and sugar bees.
Sugar
and
bees.
somebody who wins most hated.
Aren't they honeybees?
Probably.
Which bee was it?
Your brain. It takes
sugar
about a week
bees.
for your brain to get used to not having carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Somebody who wins most hated.
Well, somebody's going to win.
They're probably they feel good about it.
Now, if I don't win because they work against me in this case, the other candidates are Corporate Greg, Mason, Ireland, Shadano Cap.
We're not on that list either.
Do you wish you were on that list?
Sure, why not?
Next year.
Berg got
Got to
on there
be more of
before
a
you did.
heel, Trav.
I wanted some of the categories to be a little bit more compressed so that it brings a little bit more action. You know what
Compressed how?
I mean? Compressed, like the list isn't so long.
Is
I got
Bryan
you. Yeah,
Cranston still going to say, Producer Emily?
Right. By the way,
what I need.
is that not like a highlight of your life?
Yeah,
Because
I had a poster of him in my
I was going to say
room.
Breaking Bad is your show. That is your show. That he's reading your name, and if he reads you as a winner,
Well, we'll see.
Now Jorge, I don't know. Because Jorge is in charge of how it all looks in the video. And I was like, so do we need Cranston to cut some new stuff? He's like, Cranston's out this year. I said, okay.
Oh, jeez.
But not that Cranston's making that decision. Cranston's in.
Wow.
It's producer Jorge saying,
no.
Jorge!
Hold on, Cranston. No, hold on. I said I got
Jorge
most of-
going to war with
No.
Cranston.
I said I got the stuff from Cranston already. We just need some re-recording.
Jorge saying, no.
Wow.
No more
No,
Cranston.
He doesn't know show business.
Jorge,
do you not understand the show business aspect of the new radio station?
We could use that for Mason later. That why Jorge said
wow.
that.
I did not. I did not.
What'd you think of your boy yesterday?
It was about what I expected.
Okay.
I thought that.
I thought you did say
Who is his boy?
you might have said 4 innings. I don't know how many runs you said. But
I
you said
I
around
said
there.
with Walker Buehler making his debut, I said, look, if he pitches 4 or 5 innings and gives up 3 or 4 runs, I think that's probably, generally speaking, a decent way to start it. And that's almost exactly what he did. 4 innings, 3 runs, struck out 4 guys. You knew he was totally out of whack when he botched that play at first base. That's when you're like, okay, he
hasn't played in.
He hasn't
22
played,
months,
and his emotions
23
are
months.
high, and he's just not sharp, right?
Yeah.
Like Freeman gives him that perfect little feed, and he just fumbles it and drops it. And you could just tell he's just out of sorts. He just was not what he was. Whether he'll get there or not, time will tell. He wasn't anywhere near it
Can I
last night.
ask you this question? Are you more encouraged or discouraged?
Neither. I'm neither encouraged nor discouraged. I guess if the needle, if it has to tip one way a little bit, more encouraged.
You should be.
Yeah, I think so because the velocity was there.
Yep.
And he is healthy. Like there's no report that he's experiencing arm soreness or anything. The velocity hit 96, 97 a few times, and he's healthy. So that's encouraging. He couldn't put anybody away. He really struggled with his command. And there was a cool moment between Hershiser and Kershaw in the middle of the game. Sometimes Kershaw will put on the headset and they'll have a conversation in the middle of the game. And right as they're getting ready for the inning to end, Kershaw asks Orel on the air. And it was cool because it was almost like you were just eavesdropping on a conversation between 2 Dodger greats. Mm-hmm. And Kershaw says to Hershiser, "Hey, Orel, what are you seeing on that changeup?" And Kershaw says, that last one looked like it had a little depth. And Orel was just straight stuff at that point. He goes, "It's not there yet. It's only so." And you could tell it was one of those real recognizes real moments where they're talking about another real one in Walker Buehler, and it just wasn't quite what you would hope it would be yet. So I think that's the important part, yet.
Just think about the curiosity of those two. I think there's a reason why that conversation turned to, hey, this is just Spectrum and it's Kershaw and Orel's. I get it. That's all there. But it turned to, you're one of the best in the business that's ever done it. You're one of the best in the business that's ever done it. We're watching somebody that's coming off double Tommy John.
Yeah.
And we also, a lot of Dodger fans, whatever your era of Dodgers baseball is, Walker Buehler's a part of that era.
Oh, sure.
Whether you're young or you're old, and Buehler's
sure.
been a complete baller, came up through the, obviously the Dodger system. I think that's the piece where listening to these two talk about it and Oral saying it's not there yet, this is why I said, are you more encouraged or discouraged? Because I think the mere fact that he was back on the mound, that he threw 70-something pitches, that there was some velocity there, 96, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think he even clocked 97 at one point. I think that in itself was a great sign for Walker Buehler. Now, that shouldn't sell you or me, hey, watch out in a couple of months, Buehler's back. Time will tell. It doesn't help, too, that I think playing Miami in your first game, I think was strategic. Why the Dodgers said, who they just play on Sunday?
Right.
They're
Atlanta.
playing the Braves,
Yeah.
and then the next day they got Miami. Two polar opposite teams. I'm sure strategically they're like, let's ease this guy back.
An easier entry point for sure. I just loved, because you could almost feel Kershaw's brain going, hey, are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing? And Kershaw is like, yeah, I am.
Are we mic'd up?
Yeah.
Should we have the conversation right now?
It was so good, and it was so deeply baseball nerdy. This is ridiculous, but I'll say it anyway. I literally called Susan in from the other room, like, you got to come hear this. This is the coolest thing I've heard, and I don't know how long. I texted my friend Eddie Alazade from Rotolo, and I'm like, dude, did you hear that? How cool was that? Because it was a Hall of Famer talking to one of the greatest Dodger pitchers of all time, and they're like, what do you think? And they're like, not yet. And it was awesome to hear it. And they're both like, yeah, it's coming along. And oh, that was a slider right there. Yeah. He's getting a little bit closer. But when they had, that was the most real moment of the whole night, where they're both like, yeah, he's fine. He's healthy. He's good. But that's not the Walker Buehler that we've come to know. And we're going to have to wait a minute. And hopefully he gets there. But as far as first steps go, pretty darn good.
How much time until Susan was like,
she's like, that's it? Did you not see that?
I'm going to go into another room. There's some storage.
I believe she called me a dork and walked out of the room.
I think she was like, I'm organizing the sombreros.
It was awesome. I loved and you know what else he did? You know, we'll talk about this when we come up, because when we come back, I should say. Kershaw was talking about Otani last night, and he did something that you don't hear very often about a Hall of Fame player. That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
The black and gold are hitting Sin City.
Oh, that's a golazo!
LAFC enter the U.S. Open Cup in the round of 32 as they look to dim the bright lights of Vegas.
Oh, the 32-52. Dale, black and gold.
It's win or go home as Los Angeles Football Club battle Las Vegas Lights FC. Coverage begins Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on the home of the black and gold, 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
business like show business.
Now, see, Ireland would love this song.
I love it.
Ireland probably sang this song. Again, what I said was, John Ireland, I love him to death, one of the best broadcasters we have. He has decided to take on the circle of, he called them trolls, I didn't. The circle of trust from the afternoon show community. And these people, by the way, they're part of the Mason Island Mafia. They're part of the Travis and Sliwa community. That is no longer.
Happened?
Apparently, he's calling them the circle of trolls. I don't know why. They're big fans of John. They love Lakers basketball. So he has taken them on. And what I said was, sometimes when John brings up, oh, Morales rigs the Mandy's. If I rigged the Mandy's, he would have never seen one. That I digress. But he doesn't understand sometimes the showbiz aspect. Now, if I called him right now and said, hey, man, why are you doing this? He would say, Chris, it's a bit. You love bits. And in John's way, this is a bit.
I was going to say, he's not wrong about that.
He's not. Like when he did the whole campaign for 2 weeks to get me off the show. That was a bit that him and I were texting about for 2 weeks.
Technically,
No, listen, he would definitely want me off the show if he could. But his hands don't reach that high, you know what I mean? Or arms. But
hands are part of his arms.
Taking on our listeners that are like our devoted fans that support everything, I don't know if that's a great bit or a great play. But much like you said, it's your life, Sliwa. If you want to go up to Lake Arrowhead at 7 o'clock on Saturday night,
21 hours. I'll take the middle of the sleep. Let's call it 18.
Hey, but you're asleep. You're not doing anything.
That's your call.
Wait.
Do you have do you have that sleepwalking sickness? I'll count it if you have that.
Wait, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
You said you don't want him to take on the circle of trust.
I didn't say I don't want him to. I think it's creating. What do I always say? It creates engagement.
But you said that's not a good idea.
I don't know if that's a great idea.
Okay. What's the difference between the Mason and Island Reddit page? Those are listeners of the station.
But those listeners, again, those are
listeners of the station.
First of all, when Mason a couple weeks ago said that those people are not fans of the station, I told him he's wrong. The Mason Island Reddit page people are some of our biggest fans. They listen nonstop. That's why they can complain about everything I do.
So what's
I
the
love
difference
those people too. I would say that as far as I know, now again, that's an anonymous page, so there might be people that come to all of our events that are in there, probably. But a lot of those people don't seem to be like supporters when I say coming to the events, coming to those things.
Like penis thumbs.
Possibly. For all I know, Crypto Ray is penis thumbs on the Reddit page and comes to everything and supports everything.
Thumbs up, Al.
So all I'm saying is,
people know. Like,
I love all the groups, even the ones that hate me. I love them. That's why I engage with them.
Because I think, very loyal listeners.
I don't go on the Reddit page to engage because that's not really what any of us should be doing. Is going into a Reddit page that's anonymous and stuff and posting. I don't think that that's a good idea as people that are
when you go on, do you go on
show?
as Chris Morales?
I don't go on to the
you don't go on at all.
So a couple of the Circle of Trust members, they will fill me in. Alex downstairs will sometimes go, "Oh, the Reddit page is going nuts."
Okay,
whatever. I find it amusing. I ran a promo the other day as I'm the most hated. I have been voted most hated on the Reddit page. But yes, to your point, Slee, they're loyal. No, they have.
Put up a poll.
They are very loyal listeners. They're supporting the radio station by listening. Even when they say they hate it and they don't listen, they listen. I don't know if they come out and support our events and stuff, like the Circle of Trust or the Travis and Sliwa community or the Mason Island Mafia, frankly.
Travis and Sliwa All-Stars.
All-Stars, right.
All-Stars.
They give out pins.
They do. I still have it.
Yeah.
I think it's still on my suit.
So I'm all for anybody that takes the time to post about this radio station, negatively or positively. I love you.
I think here's the more important question. Trav brought up, I don't know if it was late last week, that you were annoyed of his suit at the Mandy's because then you're not able to figure out which
you got frustrated.
That is true. So
I wore the same suit to both Mandy's.
I think Jorge obviously deals with all the footage, so does Carvel, our whole team. When I see a clip, I know what year it's from based on the lighting, based on the suit, whatever.
Yeah.
Travis, when you just see shots of him, it's like, well, was this from 1 or 2?
Well, I wore a tie to one and not the other.
2007 or 2021?
I wore a tie last year. I did not wear a tie year one. Everything else is exactly the same.
By the way, this year I might just wear my Yachtly crew.
Your sailor suit?
I might just wear that outfit.
It's a good idea.
Not bad.
Because again, first year I was more, it was about like, now I'm a little looser.
There may be
3-hour tour.
There may be a second suit in the horizon for me in the Mandy's.
You're going to change suits?
Perhaps.
Wow.
Here's why.
Is a buddy letting you borrow a suit?
No.
Is Beckner getting in there?
Brian's suit would come up to about my knees.
Yeah, he's a little guy.
But I have a suit from the only other time in my life when I was in shape that I might sort of be able to fit into.
Oh, okay.
So we'll
this
see.
Is why you've been working out so
No,
hard. to
no,
get
it's
into that
not.
suit.
Look,
Just service
there's
Chris.
exactly
At home when he walks in, it just says Mandy's 3, and it says
There's exactly
67 days remaining, and he rips off a page.
In the glass
66.
case.
Now, radio.
There's one person that's come close to why I have committed to this, and you're the person. That's it. And we'll leave it at that because it is what it is. But the crisis that I'm currently dealing with will be in full bloom by the time we
because
get
you're
in.
too skinny now.
I mean, Jupiter's in retrograde, so we
Well,
already figured that
there's
out.
a lot going on in the household, and by the middle of June, when the Mandy's are, they will still be taking place. So we'll go from there.
Wow. A Radio Michael fan tweeted saying, I said this yesterday, folks are walking right into Ireland's trap. He is getting everyone fired up. If he wins an award, it's great. If he doesn't, he will say, I told you so, it's rigged. I don't believe the Mafia or COT or All-Stars subscribe to Ireland's opinion.
Will they be storming 800 at West Olympic?
But here's the thing. You can't say it's rigged when you've won awards already.
Multiple.
Right. The thing that would have been most amazing for Mandy's one, if I was rigging it, would be not for their show to win, would have been actually,
quite frankly, ours.
Our show.
Yeah.
At that point in time, that would have been the most like, oh my God, this is rigged. Mason Ireland winning show of the year. And by the way, last year they lost it by what? 10 votes? It was very
close.
Was it that close?
Yeah, it was really close.
The only category that was really a blow-away was the personality of the year. I
You made sure to check the data.
No, they showed us the data at the end.
All right.
Also, I
Take
want an
that for
opportunity.
data.
I also want to run it back. What you said about me not wanting Cranston, that's a lie.
No. So he said,
No,
really,
no,
Chris
no,
lied?
that's a lie.
Are you sure?
I
No,
want
I
Cranston.
don't lie. I enrich for radio purposes. But this was, Jorge said, Cranston's out. I said, whatever you want to do. kid.
Jorge, actually, I heard him say, guys, Breaking Bad was a long time ago.
Enrich for radio purposes. That's what we're going with?
Listen,
Okay.
we have to create engagement.
Ah.
We have to do show business.
Okay. Enrich for. I'm using that. Okay.
All right, you going to you may go, you're not going? You going to the Dodger game tonight?
So yesterday, Cappy and I in the morning,
Shohei's struggling. Nothing to watch there.
he invited me, and he goes, "Oh, Greg and I are going to the game. You should come." And I said, that sounds like it's a you and Greg thing. I don't want to step on any toes. He goes, "No, I need you there." I said, So then I mentioned to
He
Greg.
can't spend an evening with Greg by himself?
When Greg and I were talking later on, because yesterday I was in the home office.
Greg says the same thing to him. He's like,
I said, "Hey, Greg, by the way, Cappy invited me to the game tomorrow night." Silence for 10 seconds. Then he goes, "Well, yeah, you should totally come." And I go,
Greg showed his hand, didn't he? Yeah.
I go, "Listen, it sounds like it's a you and Cappy thing. Don't worry about it." Then there was the whole drama of whether the Dodgers were even going to give us credentials. Because at the beginning of the afternoon show, Greg was like starting a war on air that the Dodgers weren't giving us credentials and that we weren't going to even talk Dodgers. Now, here's the key.
It's the Marlins.
Well, they didn't give us credentials for Monday because he asked, all due respect, for a couple social people.
Oh.
And again, that's fine. But when you put Scott Kaplan and Greg Bergman on the request for today, they're known. I mean, just being honest, they're known personalities in Los Angeles. So the Dodgers approved that one, but that didn't come down to like an hour into the afternoon show. So there was a war going on. But they're only going to give us 2. So I'm out. So I have to buy like a get-in.
Okay,
And
I just checked
I
the
don't-
prices.
Go
They're
on,
$11.
go on the Game Time app. Buy a ticket.
That's $11 that I'm giving to those stinking people
And then
that
you
won't
gotta park.
fire Dave Roberts.
Then you
Well,
gotta
no, I'm not
park.
parking separately. I'm going with them.
Or you can take the Dodger
Yeah.
Express. Look at me, a proponent of
Yeah, you
public
should go.
transit.
I don't know. I'm tired. I kind of want to just go back to East Central tonight, get some work done, get out of here at 8 o'clock, maybe go.
But the nice news is you can go for a few innings and still do all. You could pull.
well, they're going to
you could-
have to, right? Because Cap was going till 7. So you're not going to get in there
No,
till...
we're on the air until 6:30 tonight. We've got playoff basketball at 6:30.
Oh.
Who's playing tonight?
the Thunder
Celtics,
and
Dallas.
Yeah,
So game 1, we will have game 1,
Yeah.
Thunder,
Dallas.
6:30 p.m. Right here on your
you
home for the NBA playoffs.
glued to your set, Slee.
Well, yeah, he's not going to go to Arrowhead tonight because.
Yeah, I'm curious about that matchup.
Are
I
you?
like that matchup.
Do you like
I
it?
think Dallas wins, but I like the matchup.
I'll be watching the Dodgers
got-
and Marlins again.
Padres, Cubs.
That's not bad.
No, it was good. It was good yesterday.
Your boy
so-
Luis Ariz had 4 hits in
I
his
know.
debut.
I know.
4 singles.
You're not crazy about him.
It's fine.
They need a dude like that. They need a guy just to get on base.
They need another shortstop.
They have a guy that's going to get a lot of hits and not necessarily impact the game all that much. Yeah.
They're going to need
it's
other
a
dudes
lot
to
of
impact
singles.
him.
Yeah, yes. Which they might.
Yeah.
Which they might. They need, you know what they need, Slee? They need an Otani. They should go find a guy that just hits, what was he, 9 for his last 13 with 4 home runs.
Something stupid like that. And he's not even hitting them out. Like, these are not, that barely went over the fence.
The one he hit, the second, well, let me be specific. The second one he hit on Sunday was the longest home run at Dodger Stadium in 10 years. Okay, the one he hit yesterday was nearly as far. Not quite, but nearly.
440 or
it
something
made
like
that explosion sound that only he makes when he makes contact with the ball. That's very same interview that we were talking a minute ago about with Kershaw and Hershiser. They asked Kershaw about Otani, and he did the thing that you don't see very often. Clayton Kershaw is a deadlock cinch, first ballot, if not unanimous, near unanimous selection to the Hall of Fame.
If he doesn't get in, it's because of Outman.
He's going, and he is not the best pitcher of the last 20 years. He's not third, right? He's one of those guys. And you could tell when they asked about Otani, he couldn't put it into words. Otani is on the next level. Like Mookie Betts is going to the Hall of Fame. You can talk about what Mookie Betts does. Freddie Freeman's going to the Hall of Fame. You can talk about, he's got great back control. He's a good defensive. Otani does stuff that doesn't make sense. And Kershaw was trying to articulate what that meant is, and he said something that I thought was really interesting. He's going to hit your mistakes out of the ballpark, but that's what major league hitters do. What he does is he can make you execute your pitch perfectly and still hit you out of the ballpark. That's stuff that doesn't make sense. That's a whole different level that even he can't comprehend.
Do you think for the first time since Otani has been a Dodger, we're starting to kind of have those similar moments it used to have when he was an Angel, where now I think even if you're not affiliated with the Dodgers, even if you're just a baseball fan, you're like, hey, did you see what Otani did on this specific day? Hey, did you see what Otani's did over the weekend? Hey, did you see Otani got another one that was 460 feet? Hey, Otani hit 2 home runs, or Otani tied the game against the Braves. He's starting to have those. I think you were talking about this maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Here's what he's batting.
You want some numbers?
Well, here's where he's batting. Here's his batting average. Here's how many home runs he has. Here's this. This is where he is. But with runners in scoring position, this is kind of an odd one.
Yep.
In the last week, I don't know what those numbers are, but whatever they are, I'm sure they're
Here's where we
different.
are. We're a month and a half into the season, basically. Shohei Otani is first in all of baseball, not just in the National League, in all of baseball. He is first in total bases with 103. The next closest is 84. Okay, so he's blowing away the field. He's number 1 in slugging. The next closest is more than 100 points behind him. He's number 1 in batting average. He's number 1 in home runs. He's number 1 in OPS with over 1,100. He's number 2 in on-base percentage. He's number 2 in WAR. Keep in mind, in WAR, he doesn't play defense. So he can't gain any defensive points
Your
in
mic
this.
doesn't even know how crazy it is. Your mic can't understand the numbers.
WAR is the stat that takes together.
Yeah. No. They get
offense and defense together. He doesn't play defense because he's a designated hitter, and he's second.
Stupid.
He's 9th in stolen bases. He's 6th in RBIs. So he's in top 10 in literally everything.
Every category.
And he's first in doubles.
Mm-hmm.
He's first in doubles, total bases, slugging, on base, OPS, average home runs. Number 2 in WAR. Number 2 in on base percentage. 6 in RBIs. 9 in stolen bases. That's stupid.
If you put him tonight in the Mavs Thunder game, he'd have 11 rebounds.
No, they'll probably bench him tonight because the math says to bench him.
That's awesome.
What the hell?
Take Muncie out.
Hey, who hit 3 home runs last night? Him. Okay, sit him down. Math says no.
Right over here. Have him hang out with us.
I get it. Baseball has changed. There's new baseball. There's analytically driven baseball. This is not the equation on the chalkboard in Good Will Hunting to be solved. Okay, this is a sport that's fun. How about we let the guys that hit home runs hit more home runs? Does that seem like a good idea? Stupid. Factor Caps coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
The black and gold are hitting Sin City.
Oh, that's a golazo!
LAFC enter the U.S. Open Cup in the round of 32 as they look to dim the bright lights of Vegas.
Oh, the 32-52. Dale, black and gold.
It's win or go home as Los Angeles Football Club battle Las Vegas Lights FC. Coverage begins Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on the home of the black and gold, 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
To Cap.
Hey guys.
Aloha.
Aloha. We never got into it, but me and Travis got into a astrology conversation last Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to read his trying to read why his certain star sign might be feeling certain things.
Yes.
We got into it a little bit.
Yes.
All right. So
Didn't help me feel any better, by the way.
Yesterday was the Met Gala, and it obviously includes a ton of really famous people that you maybe don't know, but high fashion is key there. So all the Succession boys were there. So it was Matthew McFadden, who plays Tom, and Kieran Culkin, who plays Roman, and then Jeremy Strong, who plays Kendall. So all three boys were there. And throughout the entire series, even in the off season of the filming, they all had clean-shaven faces. And then at the Met Gala, every single one of them had a big, bushy beard that was both fashionable, but they definitely had a different look than their Succession looks. So I don't know this for certain, but I assume that they had a part in their contract that they had to be clean-shaven for Succession purposes.
So they're playing for the Yankees?
Yeah, probably.
Literally.
I mean, basically.
Was it
Succession
Johnny
is the
Damon?
Yankees of HBO. So, that in mind, we've all been in a place where, you're not allowed to do something. You're not allowed to, I don't know, smoke cigarettes. You're not allowed to drink. You're not allowed to grow a beard, whatever. So, you've ever done something even harder when you were finally able to do it? Trav, fact or cap?
Fact. So when one of my previous employers, we didn't have a dress code, but we had an understanding that everybody would dress a certain way. Mm-hmm. And it was not quite formally, but it was far more formally than I would choose given my own
business-like.
But slacks, hard shoes, collars, like nice stuff. And once I was not in that environment, I don't think I've put that stuff on since. It's not
Except
me.
Except for the Mandy's.
Well, no, like if I'm going out to a party or a wedding or something, I don't mind getting dressed up. I actually like getting dressed up. But to go to work every day, I like my hoodies and I like my jeans. That's kind of what I enjoy. So, yeah, for sure. The second I was out of that, because they shot me out of a cannon, I put my jeans back on.
Al?
Fact. I don't have to go too far. That side to this side. And I think, when I was on the business side, the partnership side, I'm not telling you had to wear suits. And by the way, there's a lot that has changed over there. Management has changed. Ownership has changed. So whatever the structure was before is different than it is today. You were wearing slacks. You were wearing nice shoes. You were wearing a dress shirt. And that's how you were coming into work. And that's fine. It's completely okay. It wasn't like the worst thing in the world, but it's also uncomfortable, not nearly as comfortable. Came over to this side. And it was like, yeah, I'm not putting that on unless I have to.
Right.
And it's not, again, I go back to it. It's not the end of the world. If I was shaving every day or every other day over there, I might go 2 days without shaving. It's like it doesn't really matter. So, fact on that.
Jorge?
Yeah, when I was a waiter, they told me I couldn't wear shorts, right? So I look at the dress code, and, me and my buddies were just trying to be defiant because the manager or whatever. I ended up wearing shorts. They told me how to be knee-high shorts. I'm like, yeah, I play soccer. I don't mind wearing knee-high shorts. So
that's funny.
Let's do it. So I had, Chuck kind of, work shoes.
Oh, yeah?
All black shoes, and then I'm wearing, UPS kind of short shorts.
You can deliver packages by day and grand slams by night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What can Brown do for you? All right. So up next, again, another Met Gala related thing. So Ben Simmons was at the Met Gala. So this is his outfit if you haven't seen it yet. It's kind of a long overcoat with kind of a diagonal top third.
Who's this, Who did you say?
Ben Simmons.
Okay.
Diagonal top third that is like a tweed checker print. And the rest is kind of this tweed all black, and it has a little flower on it, and he's holding a briefcase with a clock on it for some reason, and the clock reads at just about it's about 4:30. Okay, I don't know why it says that time. Maybe it's the time of day in New York City when it was
time
taken.
for him to shoot.
Yeah, time for him to shoot. Who knows? So Ben Simmons has been a staple of the Met Gala because he does have a keen fashion sense, and people do like seeing him there. But my statement is, Ben Simmons is not famous enough to go to the Met Gala. Al, Factor Cap.
All right. I'm going to... This is a perfect example of this. This is fact. When you said what you said, I had to ask again because I'm like, wait a minute, did she say Ben Simmons? And my initial reaction was, well, why would Ben Simmons be there? Is Ben Simmons popular enough? Is he like what's the angle for Ben Simmons to be there? So 100% fact, I would have thought, yeah, he's not part of that. When you said that a lot of this is there's certain figures and it's people of high stature. Yeah, fact. I didn't think Ben Simmons would be a part of that mold.
It's not only high stature, but also a high sense of fashion.
Yeah.
So they want people that are there
like
that take it seriously. Trav?
Look, I would imagine if you gave me a checklist of everybody that was at the Met Gala, I wouldn't know way more than half the names. So
sure.
I know his, and I understand that doing what I do, I'm more likely to run into Ben Simmons than some actor. I get that. So I don't know if he's famous enough or not because I don't know most of the people there. I do know this, and this is why I think it's Cap. He doesn't have enough shame not to show up for the Met Gala. Right? That when you are robbing your employer of the millions of dollars that he is taking from, who is he? Is he officially a net at the moment?
Brooklyn right now.
Yeah.
We couldn't even tell.
No, I couldn't. I remember, you know how I knew he was a Brooklyn Net? Lakers were playing the Nets one time, and I was getting ready for the Darvin Ham interview, and I saw Ben Simmons walk by, and I'm like, I forgot he was on this team.
Yeah, I just don't know how you collect the money that Ben Simmons is being made with no intent of ever playing, with no desire to ever play, and then show up at a big party like, hey, y'all remember me?
Hey, I'm here.
That's just insane to me. Like, shame is a useful emotion if it's used properly. I don't want anybody to live in shame all the time, but, dude, fix your health problem, whatever it is, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, whatever it is, and get back to work and earn your check. Don't be doing that. It's just crazy to me.
Jorge?
I guess it comes down to like also who you know, right? So he's from Brooklyn, his fashion, you know, the whole thing.
And
so
he goes to the Met Gala a lot.
Exactly. So I guess it comes down to that.
All right.
Of all the stuff I saw, it's not the worst thing I've seen.
The best outfit to me was Dan Levy. He's the guy from Schitt's Creek, and his outfit, I think someone tagged you actually in it, Travis, that you could have worn this outfit. It's almost like his flowers are fading into black on the top of it. He has the best male outfit that I saw last night, and the best female outfit I thought was Saoirse Ronan and Chloe Crump. Anyway, so there was a celebrity Wheel of Fortune. Actually, Clinton Yates sent me this clip this morning. So there's a celebrity Wheel of Fortune that happened. I don't know if it was yesterday, but it's in recent history. And so since you can't see it, I'm going to say what is filled in here. So I don't know what the prompt was, but this is what the Wheel of Fortune said. It said Jason, and then an ampersand, Travis, and then it said ELCE. Okay, so basically Jason and Travis Kelce.
Yep.
So this is the celebrities trying to figure out what this is supposed to mean. Kristen Ritter is one of the celebrities.
700. What letter would you like?
K.
Yeah, there's a K.
Okay. No one wants
all you have to do is read what's up there.
Travis and Jason Kels.
Yeah, there you go. We will take that. And yeah.
I don't know who they are. They're football players. Okay,
Sarah's going to... Sarah, tell them the whole story with the singer and the thing.
Well, it's a Taylor Swift thing. Sadly, it's the only reason why I know who...
Yeah,
Is it Travis
they're
Kelce
football
that she's
players and
dating?
Taylor Swift. You'll read it in your local newspapers.
Sajak's pretty funny.
It was pretty great. So it's kind of funny because you think that, especially with the year that both those brothers had, that it would be kind of synonymous at this point. But again, my statement is, no matter how famous you are, there are still going to be people who don't know who you are. I think maybe unless you're the president of the United States. Yeah. So no matter how famous you are, there are still people that don't know who you are. Jorge Fettercap.
Fact. There's a lot of people that don't know who Messi is, and it blows my mind. So I was like, oh yeah, Miami came and Messi. Well, yeah, who's that? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like this, a short superstar, that Travis impersonates here.
Hey, leave me out of it. I'm famous, and I play in Miami, and I went to the Grand Prix.
I want a juice box.
And I don't want to go to Arrowhead at 9:30 at night. I'm going to steal Keyshawn's story here real quick. Fact is the answer to your question. Keyshawn was it was in Cannes for the film festival. Jorge, you know what I'm going to tell,
this
right?
one. This is a good one.
So he's there, and I think he's kind of being shown around by Brad Pitt, right? So Brad Pitt's introducing him to people, and he he brings somebody over to Key and says, "Oh, hey, this is Keyshawn," and he goes, "Oh, hey, it's nice to meet you. You know, this, that, and the other thing." And Key's like, "Yeah, cool, man. It's all good. It's all good." And he says, "What do you do?" And the guy gives him his big smile, like, "Is this for real?" and he's like, I'm a musician." And he goes, "Okay." And he's got an Irish accent, and he walks away, and Brad Pitt comes back. He's like, "What'd you think of that?" He goes, "Yeah, who is that guy?" And Pitt looks at Keith like, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "No, who was that?" He goes, "That's Bono."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Who's Bono?" He's like, "Never mind." Again, he didn't know who he was. So Bono is one of the more recognizable, famous people in the world, and Keyshawn had no idea who he was.
I thought the story was going to be it's Marty Scorsese or like Steven Spielberg too. Yeah.
Bono.
Yeah. Al?
Fact. 100% fact. I think. Look, it also just depends. I mean, you might not be. Let's use sports as an example. Somebody could be a very, very casual sport, or not a sports fan at all. Like, they don't know anything about sports. Like, you use the example of Messi. That's a crazy one, but I get it. That probably happens. David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo, LeBron James. It's crazy that they don't know it, but if I flipped it the other way and you were, and there's probably a lot of really, really famous musicians that you know that everybody knows, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I don't know if I know that song. Maybe it's just the song that I don't know."
Yeah.
I know Taylor Swift. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
There's some of those top ones. But I do think there's definitely, and that's a great story on Keyshawn. But I'm sure that happens.
I'm a musician. Oh, cool. Good luck with that. Thanks.
Hopefully it turns out okay.
No, that's exactly what he said. Remember?
He said good luck with that, like he was an up and coming guy.
That's really good. What are you playing, like your garage or?
Bono. I love it.
Let me know if you're ever in LA, Bono.
Yeah, let me know if you come through and you need any help.
Yeah.
I'll hook you
place
up.
to crash.
I know somebody at a local bar if you ever want to perform.
Jamal Murray not only played bad, but he might not get to play at all coming up. That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
All right, we all know about this new breaking news from Pizza Hut. Right now, any medium pizza with any of your favorite toppings are all just $12. By the way, look at all these different styles, and it's still $12. You get hand-tossed, get thin and crispy. You get original pan crust, still $12. All right, how about the different recipes? Meat lovers, supreme, still $12. Any topping, sausage, pepperoni, peppers, olives, whatever you want on there. Onions. I love onions on my pizza. Still just $12. Any medium pizza right now for $12. Order now on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey.
The black and gold are hitting Sin City.
Oh, that's a golazo!
LAFC enter the U.S. Open Cup in the round of 32 as they look to dim the bright lights of Vegas.
Oh, the 32-52. Dale, black and gold.
It's win or go home as Los Angeles Football Club battle Las Vegas Lights FC. Coverage begins Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on the home of the black and gold, 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Spectacular live from LA Live. Travis and Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
Rams running back Kyren Williams scheduled to join us at 12:30, so about 40 minutes from right now. Kyren Williams was a giant difference maker in what the Rams did last year.
And kind of a surprise because he, honestly, if he had been healthy for the entirety of the season, who knows? He got to challenge Christian McCaffrey for some of the numbers that he put up.
Absolutely.
Because in the time that after he came back from his injury and that same time with Christian McCaffrey, they were virtually identical. And Christian McCaffrey was maybe the MVP of the season last year.
Yep.
And so it's just kind of, I hope that this year is a healthy one for Kyren and that he can kind of live up to last year.
Out of nowhere for you, for me, and I think for most Rams fans, you know who was on that? And this is the why. With Sean McVay, Emily, you and I were actually talking about this. A lot of times Sean McVay talks and he says a lot of things. You're like, yeah, I don't know how much information was in there. He's very good at talking without tipping his hand. There are 3 players that I have heard him talk about as the head coach of this team that were kind of off the radar. That he's like, I'm telling you, this guy's different. He's special. He's really good. Keep your eye on him. He's going to make a big difference on this team. You're like, yeah, he's just talking up his guys. Cooper Kupp, when he first got to the Rams, Kyren Williams, and Puka Nacua are guys that he all went out of his way. I know they're down pick, but we have really high hopes for these guys.
Yeah, Puka was the talk of training camp last year.
Absolutely. And so Kyren, long before it's like, you mean that 5th round guy? I didn't know it. Really? All right, whatever. And then he got hurt right away and he never played. And every time they talk about Cam Akers or Darrell Henderson or Ronnie Rivers or any of the guys that they brought through there, he would always say, when we get Kyren back, he's going to make a big difference. And it's like, he never even played 5th round. He was right.
How do you guys feel coming into this season? Because I think the expectations, kind of the way I view the Rams right now, you had Aaron Donald obviously gone. And that in itself just kind of changes my entire scope of however I looked at the franchise, however I looked at the team. It does change it, Trav. It's impossible to not think, well, if you had a lot of optimism. I have optimism that the Rams know what they're doing. I have optimism in Matthew Stafford. I have optimism that they're going to put points on the board. I have optimism in Sean McVay. I have optimism. But if you're saying in the scope of the NFC, losing a player like that, how much has that kind of changed your view? And I also think this is just something to keep in mind. If they were a surprise last year, because everyone was expecting, are they really going to make any noise? They're probably not going to make any noise. They're not going to catch anybody. They're not going to shock anybody this year. I think teams will be preparing for them a lot different than probably they were preparing for them a year ago.
So I think that is an interesting point to bring up because I think the offensive side of the ball, I think people will know what the offensive side of the Rams is going to look like. Puka and Cooper, hopefully, being great, Kyren being great, and maybe Blake Corum going in there too. But I think the interesting part that might cause some surprise, don't know what you're going to get, is the defense. Okay, so they didn't just fill in Aaron Donald with whomever was the best person at position that's on the market. They filled with a bunch of draft picks.
Which I like that.
They don't know what they have yet, so that also means the other teams don't know what they have yet. So maybe there's a world in which they have an element, quote-unquote, of surprise, and that they can be better than expected, because that's what we've been seeing with the Rams over and over again the past couple seasons, that there are people that we don't expect to be great that end up being great.
I think their variance on defense is almost incalculable. With Aaron Donald there, it's impossible to try to predict what it's going to be. We haven't seen a Rams defense without Aaron Donald in forever.
And, I think what's interesting, again, maybe it's not apples to apples because they're completely different sports. But remember this season when the Lakers, without AD and without LeBron, beat the Boston Celtics?
Sure.
So maybe there's a world in which, without AD, even though he's the greatest person at that position that has played the NFL most likely.
AD, Aaron Donald, AD, Anthony Davis.
Right.
Okay.
But the idea that those, it'll have everybody else step up, and you're not just guarding one person, you're guarding 6 people. There's no one getting double teamed anymore.
Very optimistic view.
Yeah, it is.
I have a difficult time of thinking that. That's why I think this season is going to be very cute, because it's very tough to try to predict what you're going to see.
I mean, the Lakers without LeBron James, we don't want to see that because he's the greatest player of all time.
I don't think they're better without him, but they're going to be a lot different. I think they can be good without him. I don't know if they can be as, like Em said, you're taking a potential best ever candidate off the board. That's never good news, but They add Tre'Davious White. If he's healthy, he's not just good, he's very good. They're bringing back Darius Williams, who, say what you want, he's probably their best defensive back if he were on the team last year. He's coming back. They spent a ton of draft picks on that side of the ball. They're going to try to fill a bunch of holes as opposed to the gaping hole left by Aaron Donald. And I think that's the best you can do. Could it be worse? Sure it could. Because Aaron Donald's not there.
Sure.
And that's just, we're going to find out. I think what's far more important than that is Puka going to be close to what he did? Because to say he's going to be as good is asking way too much. Cooper Kupp needs to be better. Kyron Williams needs to be healthier. Matthew Stafford needs to be as good as he was a year ago. That offensive line needs to be as steady and as healthy as it was a year ago. Their kicking game needs to be a lot better than it was a year ago. So if you get a little bit better everywhere else and your defense is either kind of similar but different or maybe slightly less than because Donald's not there, I think you can cover some of those holes, but you can't. It's Aaron Donald. What are you going to do? Right? I mean, there is no just, we'll just get this. No, unless Warren Sapp is walking through that door from, 25 years ago, there's no replacing that guy. He's one of one, and it's not going to happen. You know who else might be one of one? Anthony Edwards. What is going on with that guy? And, oh, by the way, Jamal Murray might not even be here for Game 3. I want to talk about that. There's a case to say, yeah, you're done for a game, and there's a case to leave him in. That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Mason and Ireland.
Not feeling Travis and Jason Kelsey for some reason. It was really fun.
Hey, not everybody can pay attention to everything.
And I also love on Wheel of Fortune when it's like so clear what the phrase is, and then someone says like something out of pocket.
Well,
like,
mythological hero Aeschylus, right? You've seen that clip?
I have not. What's that one?
So the entire puzzle is lit up.
I've seen that one.
The entire puzzle is lit up, and he's got the $1 million tile, right? And he's like, "I'd like to solve the puzzle." You can find it on YouTube; it's out there. And he goes, "Mythological hero Aeschylus," and you hear it go bong bong, and Sajak's like, no, sorry."
I'm surprised they kept Kels.
I think celebrity rules are probably different, and then the next, I don't forget, it was a man or a woman. It's like, ding. Mythological hero Achilles, and he's like,
that would be the worst way to lose.
It was a lot. How long have we been doing our show together? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think we're getting close.
Actually, just over 3 years.
Over 3?
Yeah. So you guys started.
We were closing in at 4 because we started at night.
Really?
Okay. So here's what happened.
Okay.
I think, at least as far as I'm aware, I was hired to start at the end of June 2021. Okay. And I think that you guys had just started a couple months before that, even doing the nights a couple months before that. So I think
we were only on for a few months before you got here.
It was 2021 that you guys started. So I would assume probably February, March 2021.
Okay. Okay. So there are moments where I feel good about that. That I feel like you know me a little bit. That you're starting to get an understanding of what makes me tick, and I like that. I like that I'm.
What happened?
Well, when you're like, you think Travis is going to go buy a new suit?
Yeah.
Like, I really like that. Like, of course I'm not going to go buy a new suit. That's not how I roll, right? I'm going to maybe find an older suit and see if I can squeeze myself into it.
Ask G-Fish for a suit.
Right, well, by the way, G-Fish might be going through something too. He looks pretty good all of a sudden as well. So I went to remember I got hit in the face with the volleyball, right? And it smashed up my glasses. I don't know if you can see it from there, but obviously these are still the same old glasses. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see the hot glue that's holding these things together. I went to the ophthalmologist to get my eyes checked. I was due for my appointment and presumably to get new glasses.
The optician, according to Peppa Pig.
And they're like, I told them what happened. It's like, yeah, I don't think we can fix that. But we can talk about getting some replacements. And I'm like, okay. So they go in there and they quoted me this outrageous price. I will wear these for the rest of my life before I will ever pay what you suggested I pay to replace these things. Like I was honestly offended by it to the point I went home and told Susan, I said, we need to find a new option. They think I'm an idiot if they think I'm going to do it.
Did you question them right out?
It had 4 digits in it, Slee.
What?
Yes. And I'm like, get the out of here.
For one pair?
For one pair.
Was it like gold?
Not exactly. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think we're going to be replacing these today, but thanks a whole bye, right?
I thought you would go to Costco right after.
I said, can you please print me that prescription? And I'm going to Costco sooner than later. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Get out of here.
There's another place where you get 2 pairs. That's where I got mine.
That's what's going to happen.
2 pairs.
Morales, who was in here earlier, I don't know where he went. Maybe he has meetings. I don't know. He didn't say. Usually he tells us he has meetings.
11:30 noon.
Okay. Did you heard what he asked me? He goes, are you like, just between us, taking the shot? Asking me I think he was asking if I'm on Ozempic, right? Yes. Not the first person to ask me that, by the way.
Don't have Ozempic face, though.
Thank you. Do you know what that costs?
I do.
I have no idea, A, and B, I don't even really know what the hell it is.
You take a shot and you lose weight.
Yeah.
That's basically what it's a diabetes drug that curtails appetite, but it works for weight loss and quickly.
Is this more recent?
It's
is
over
this
the
what
past
everybody?
year.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody's taken.
And there's been commercials for Ozempic forever.
Mm-hmm. And there's it is insanely expensive. Okay. You can never stop taking it. The second you stop taking it, the weight comes back on, right? And it's $1,800 a month or in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's without a prescription.
Is there any world that exists where I'm spending that amount of monty to lose weight?
Golf.
I don't know.
Hell no.
You go to golf.
To lose weight.
No.
Maybe Michael takes out those student loans.
It's like you got to be. Am I taking the shot? No, do you know what it costs? It's insane.
Just I know I'm going to get stuck on the wrong things here, but you got to take a shot every day.
Once a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's twice a month, but it's not every day.
Now we're talking.
And you freeze it, and it stays
How have
cold.
you missed I know you're not overweight, but it's been kind of out there for a while.
So I know there's one drug everybody has talked about. Yeah. Obviously that one, but just the name of it, just because I have no interest in it.
Zempi face? Yeah, so you can tell.
What is the face?
Yeah, people's face gets a little carved out more than the face looks almost sickly. So you can
Which
tell.
Which makes sense if you're taking a shot twice a month. That's going to just help you lose weight.
You can tell the celebrities that are on Ozempic. It's if I showed you a side by side, I can tell you I'm not going to.
And I don't have the look because I'm doing it on sushi and walking.
And people take out their buccal fat now. So
their what?
Their buccal fat is
what is that?
The fat around your cheeks that until you look. It caves in more.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
And so you take out your buccal fat. It makes you look healthy and normal, and then make you look like a Victorian child.
Whatever makes you look healthy and normal. That's the last thing I take from somebody doing that. When you see these people's face, their color, are they pale?
What happened to Slim Fast and Jenny Craig? That's when I was growing up. It was drink the Slim Fast for breakfast.
Those don't work, so that's why.
Well, what works is move more, eat less.
Ozempic also counts.
It definitely works.
It works,
but it
again,
also costs a fortune.
Costs a fortune.
And you
have
said
to
you
keep
can
taking
never,
it
you can
the
never
second
get off
you
of it.
stop taking it, your appetite comes back, and your habits probably because it just suppresses appetite. It makes you. There's some people feel nauseous, like low grade nausea.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I don't want to eat when I'm queasy.
Yeah.
So you just don't eat very much.
It just
and the weight
makes
comes
you.
off.
It triggers a part in your brain that makes you feel more full. Because I have been on medicine in the past that has made you feel so hungry you can't sleep.
Yes.
And I was taking it for other reasons, and so I gained a lot of weight by taking this that. And
I've
then
taken that drug too. It's called weed.
And it's legal.
This is way worse than if you ever have weed. I could not sleep.
You said something to Mace. I think it was last week, where you're like, I can't do the weed because if you smoke or something like that, you can't stop eating.
I can't stop.
That's what you said, right?
I can't stop.
Oh, I'm not too far from that.
Doesn't matter what it is. Like,
Doesn't
you got
matter.
the munchies, the snacks. I'm like, it doesn't. The second, like, I'll make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Oop, last bite. Where's another sandwich? Right? So then I'll eat a second sandwich. And it's like, where's the ice cream?
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't even
cool.
know what I'm eating. Like, the
Doesn't
things I'm
matter.
putting together, I'm like, yeah, this doesn't even taste good.
I just
but
need
it
my
doesn't
jaw
matter.
to keep moving.
Yeah.
Just like a shark. I just have to keep, instead of swimming, I have
I'm
to
with
keep
you on
eating.
that.
But some people can stop taking Ozempic, and if you keep up a healthy lifestyle, you can keep the weight off. But oftentimes, the people that got themselves in this situation don't know how to curb themselves back.
Total left turn here. Have you seen the video of Reeves hitting a hole-in-one in a simulator?
No.
He hits a hole-in-one in a golf simulator. And then D'Lo, by the way, he's also blonde now. So
He's blonde?
Yeah. Look it up.
Right,
so
let's take a quick look
Austin
at
Reeves
D'Lo.
hits a
Austin
hole-in-one.
Reeves is a
Okay.
really good golfer.
So I guess they golf all the time
Right.
together.
So remember
Not
when...
for much longer.
Remember when...
That's up to D'Lo.
remember
the
when,
funny thing.
Remember
That's up
when
to
Keyshawn
D'Lo.
tried it, and he got like really
Right on the edge.
Yeah, exactly. Are those simulators accurate, or they're just like, eh?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
It's not perfect, but it's pretty damn close. If you're making an ace on that thing, you hit a really good shot. Because if you hit a donkey, it's not going to be close. Like if you kicked it with your foot, you're not getting it close.
Okay.
You have to hit the right club, the right distance, in the right direction.
Yeah, Reeves, I think, is a baller. when
He's
it comes to golf.
legit.
Yeah.
He's absolutely legit. He's got plenty of time to play, and Jamal Murray might have some time to play. So, for those who did, the Nuggets got smoked last night.
Yep.
The Wolves put it on them again. The game was decided halfway through the second quarter. It got away from them, and they never made that run that they did make against the Lakers. They were not able to do it against Minnesota. In the middle of the second quarter, Jamal Murray's on the bench, and he throws a heating pad onto the court and, quite frankly, at a referee. There's videos of him throwing a towel, but as anybody's tried to throw a towel, they don't go very far, right? They open up and they just kind of drop on the ground. And it dropped short of the referee. The ball boy very quickly picked it up. The referees did not see it in real time. Like, KCP picked the heating pad up and kind of threw it back towards the bench.
And the ref looked behind like he didn't know where it came from. He had no idea.
And their story, the ref story is, look, we didn't see it happen. We can't kick somebody out for something we didn't see.
That's not the ref's fault, but the league will be looking at it.
The Chris Finch was talking about, like, it's a dangerous play, something needs to be done, and he's right. I'm going to make a case both for and against him being suspended for a game. You tell me which way you would go,
okay,
and you tell me which way you think the NBA is going to go. The case for suspending him is a player threw something at a referee in the middle of a game. I don't feel like I need to add a lot of context to that. A player threw an object at a referee in the middle of a game. The case against it is...
I'm watching it again, too.
He's the Nuggets' second best player. They're already in a deep, deep hole. If they remove Jamal Murray from a game, it's all but guaranteeing the Timberwolves the series. We can fine him. We can discipline him through his wallet. We can, I don't know whether it's $50,000, $100,000, $500,000. I don't know what the number is, but we can make it painful for him financially, but he gets to play.
I really hope they don't suspend him. I really do. But say what you said in the beginning. Your first case.
He threw something at a referee in the middle of a game.
That's hypothetically.
I mean, it's
hypothetically.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to see Jamal Murray get suspended.
Neither do I.
Okay?
But
hypothetically, let's say they say let's fine him. They fine him $50,000, $75,000, $100,000, whatever you want to fine him. Number doesn't matter because it literally.
But does it? What if it's $1 million? I think the number does matter because $50,000.
I'm just trying to
whatever.
think. Is there? I think there might be a limit to. I don't know.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but anyways, let's say it was a significant amount. It was $500,000. It's a significant
amount.
amount.
Of money.
It's a lot of money. Let's just say it was $500,000. This is the problem that the NBA is going to have. If I'm another player and I'm frustrated at a referee a year from now or later in these playoffs, and I do the exact same thing, I take a heat pad, I take a towel, it doesn't matter what it is, and I throw it in the direction of a referee. If you guys remember the play, and the only reason why I'm mentioning the play, it wasn't like a random thing. No, Karl Anthony Towns basically traveled. They didn't call it. And he threw it upset. Everybody was upset. He decided, well, I'm going to throw the heat pad that I have rather than anything else. If you don't suspend him, what happens when this happens again? Then you just say, well, we're just going to fine that person or that individual. What if another person's got a little bit better aim because Jamal Murray was 3 of 18 from the field and can't seem to hit a bucket? What if he actually hit him in the back of the leg, or he hit him in the in the back or something along those lines? Like,
what if Karl Anthony Towns slipped
anything
on the pad and twisted his ankle?
Again,
you know what I mean?
I hate to be the one that sits here and says, let's suspend Jamal Murray in Game 3, which, by the way, that's a wrap. The season's over. I think the series is already over.
Yeah, I do too.
But obviously, if Jamal Murray's not playing in the next game, they're not going to all of a sudden wake up and everything's going to change. That's not going to happen for the Denver Nuggets. But it's on Jamal Murray and it's on the Nuggets. I'm not going to be upset if they do it. I will understand why they do it. I don't want to see it happen.
What do you think
the problem
they're gonna do?
is?
I think they're going to fine him. I don't think they're going to suspend him. If they do, I'm not going to be jumping up and down saying this is BS. But
I think they're going to try
they will.
everything they can
short of that
to make sure he plays.
Yeah.
In Game 3.
But what if the Referees Association? What if the Timberwolves he threw something at a referee?
They're right.
What's the?
Right.
There is no but it's like
Did you say Chris Finch? It was him that was mentioning it after the game.
He was
By the way,
it was
if
a
I'm
dangerous...
if I'm the coach of Minnesota, I'm doing the exact damn same thing.
Any of his guys could have slipped on that pad, and he could have tripped over it, could have bumped their head on whatever. I mean, it was dangerous. It really, truly was. So why he did it, I think, is nearly as fascinating. We can talk about that a little bit too. Coming up next is the Timberwolves were able to do in 6 quarters what the Lakers weren't able to do in 13 games. That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
The black and gold are hitting Sin City.
Oh, that's a golazo!
LAFC enter the U.S. Open Cup in the round of 32 as they look to dim the bright lights of Vegas.
Oh, the 32-52. Dale, black and gold.
It's win or go home as Los Angeles Football Club battle Las Vegas Lights FC. Coverage begins Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on the home of the black and gold, 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
How deep is your love?
Hey, have you seen the documentary?
No.
Oh, dude, the Bee Gees on HBO?
Really?
Oh, it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, no, watch
Okay.
it. Watch it. Seriously. It's a really good documentary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a Bee Gees fan?
It's not that I'm not a fan of them. I just need somebody to play the music, and every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's a great song. Oh, yeah, that's a classic.
They got a few.
Oh, they do.
Is that one of theirs?
I don't know.
Of course it is.
It is right now.
I like the part where they the
That's a
way
great
they
song.
loop the drums for what's the name of the song? Anyway, I'll think of it. But whatever, they loop drums the way they do it with tape, reel to reel stuff.
Oh yeah,
dude, it's crazy.
The kind of like what Al was saying. Like, I hear this, I know it's a Bee Gees song. But if you said name 5 Bee Gees songs, I couldn't do it. But if you played 5 Bee Gees songs, I'd be like, oh yeah, that one.
Staying Alive.
Yeah.
drums.
The only time I feel like Jimmy Fallon's been funny is the Very Good Talk Show as well. Talking it up.
This could be
on
the end
Very
of
Good
our
Talk
relationship,
Show.
Emily.
You said you liked the Very Good Talk Show,
it was
okay?
Pretty funny. It was pretty funny. By the way, I know Emily and I watched. Did you happen to see SNL? You were not even kidding. You were in the car. So, never mind.
Making a sandwich.
Yeah.
So Dua Peep was the host of Dua Lipa.
Lipa Duo?
Yeah. Dua Lipa was the host of SNL this week.
Okay, I knew that there was an artist named Lipa Duo, but I did never
Dua
seen
Lipa.
her. How has she escaped my attention
Honestly,
for this long?
I don't know how either because
Yeah.
she is right up your alley.
Yes, she
brunette,
is.
Yeah, I know.
beautiful, great
Beautiful.
singer, deep voice.
Beautiful.
But she's, I believe she's from Kosovo is where she
Yeah.
grew up?
So
But she has a British accent.
Yes. That was, and I'm an SNL fan. Okay.
Okay.
SNL fan. Might have been the worst one I've seen in a very long time.
I did like the JoJo Siwa on SNL, which I think it's because you don't get it.
You're
Because
talking about the Weekend Update thing.
I think you don't get JoJo Siwa and how big this is for my age group right now. We've been talking about JoJo Siwa nonstop.
Fair.
And I think it was, 1, a great impression of her, and 2, very funny to me. So JoJo Siwa was funny to Emily.
Who's calling you? Somebody's calling. What is that?
Pamela. Hey, Pamela, stop calling.
It's SNL being like, hey, stop talking about us.
Have you at any point in the last couple of days, Al,
Watch JoJo Siwa?
no, not that, said to Lady Slee, like, so what are we doing this weekend? Like, it kind of like twisted the knife a little in like a fun, playful way. Like, if you talk to your parents, you have to
Sunday.
something like that.
Sunday I was
You'd
doing
already kind of given it a little bit.
Sunday was a lot
Did
easier.
you think
to
it was
talk about
funny?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I would have said,
by
hey, you want to go for a drive? Yeah, where are we going? Arrowhead.
Lake Arrowhead.
So what was your favorite Dua Lipa song? Did you like her
I only
her
saw the first one.
performances?
I only saw the first performance, but
I think, okay.
usually I fast forward through the musical performance
Yeah.
because, but I took that
paused.
one in.
So what I think you should go look at next, if you want to explore your Dua Lipa fandom, go watch her Houdini performance at the Grammys.
Okay.
She has a nice little dance break
Okay.
that you might enjoy.
All right.
All right, so Dua Lipa, I'm a big fan. I'm a Dua Lipa stan. So she actually sings fun, energetic music.
I enjoyed her performance a great deal. I did.
And her voice is great. She sings that song on Barbie, the Dance Another Way.
So Jorge has found mythological hero Aeschylus. Emily, how did we? Oh, the Travis and Jason Kelce Wheel of Fortune that somebody didn't know who they were and who they were dating, which brought us to this point where the entire puzzle, like every single letter of the puzzle, is illuminated.
Oh, that'd be a good idea, yeah.
Mythological hero Aeschylus.
We can't accept that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll solve.
Yeah, I'll solve.
What was on the line?
Well, I don't know how Wheel of Fortune works. He had the $1 million tie. I think you got to do something after that.
Yeah,
to actually win the million.
I saw.
You gotta win the whole thing.
So he spun the wheel. He got the $1 million. The category is character.
Yeah.
So that everything's lit up, but he doesn't pronounce it right, so they don't count it.
Yeah, and I don't think he lost $1 million, but he lost a chance to win $1 million. I think is how that thing goes. All right, so as promised, we are joined right now by Los Angeles Rams running back Kyren Williams. We're going to talk a little bit about Walk United LA coming up in just a little bit. Kyren, thanks for coming on the program. How you feeling?
Good, I'm good. Thank you guys for having me.
Good. It's good to have you. So where are you right now at this point in the season? Obviously, camps are still a ways away. The season's a ways away. Right. The draft just finished up. What are you doing right now, Rams related?
We're just training up here at California Lutheran University, every day working in the weight room, in the meetings room, even on the field, too. We're getting some good work in. We can't be here all day, so we're only here from 8 to 12. But, within those 4 hours of work, we're definitely getting to it. We're bonding as a team. We're bonding as, a whole organization and whatnot. But we're getting good work in and make sure that we're ready for this upcoming season.
Kind of, I know it's going to be a fun season, a lot of expectations. I'm going to put the football to the side for a quick second. You are a part of Walk United LA, which is going to be going on at SoFi Stadium. I know this year the goal is to get 10,000 Angelinos to join you and a couple of the players at SoFi Stadium. Can you talk a little bit about your involvement and what this is trying to highlight and hopefully accomplish as well?
Yeah, just to hit on what you said first, I'm going to be there with my teammates, Steve, Ernest, Kobe Turner, and then also Super Bowl champion Andrew Whitworth. And I think just the goal of what Walk United is to bring awareness to the homeless and the poverty in L.A., and especially L.A. County, and with the, us as players that we're involved in. So, it's directly in our community. We see it, and, we're just coming together with our presence, as being the Rams, and just being able to bring awareness to the homeless situation and the poverty, because it's something that needs to be changed. And, with action, we're able to, put things forward to, make those changes happen. So, that's just the goal of this weekend. As me and my teammates go out there, it's just to raise awareness for those people who don't, don't really usually get awareness.
Rams running back Kyren Williams joining us here on the Travis and Sliwa Show. You mentioned that one of your teammates that's going to be there, Steve Avila, is going to be. Does he walk in front of you the whole time and open up holes so you can continue to go through it? Do you guys always fall into your traditional roles?
It's kind of by natural habit. There might be this weekend, but not this weekend. This weekend, we're keeping it. We're for the kids, we're for the the homeless people. We're going to like you said, set aside football for the day.
So, Kyren, take me through your goals for the upcoming season. Obviously, your rookie season, you missed a great day, get hurt on the very first play of the season. Right. Last season, you get injured, and then you come back with an absolute vengeance. You're one of the most effective backs in the entire league towards the back half of the season. What's the goal for 2024?
Like you said, my biggest goal is to stay healthy. I'm trying to play 21 games up into the Super Bowl. I think that, as a team, we're able to do that, and I just think, if I'm able to stay healthy throughout the whole season, I know I can bring it, just a little more of advantage to, us as a team to get to where we want to be at the end of the year. But also just being the best teammate I can be, being there for all the guys when, on the field, even off the field, just stepping up, in that leader role, especially in the running back room, just to, be somebody that these guys look at, to follow and just to kind of emulate, how to be a pro. And so that's my biggest goal, is just being a professional every single day and being able to set the standard here.
Kyren Williams taking some time to join us here on the Travis and Sliwa Show. Curious, I know those are your individual goals, but the way last year ended, a legitimate chance to win on the road against the Detroit Lions, just how motivated do you think the team is to get an opportunity to roll up the sleeves again and go back to work?
I think we're motivated because, like last year, everybody was counting us out. Everybody besides us. We knew what we could do, and we didn't do anything but just prove to ourselves that we're a competitive team. We can compete against anybody in this National Football League. And so, coming out of last year, that tough loss to Detroit, I think that just makes everybody just a little bit more hungry, because we know that where we can go. We know what we can do. If we're just playing playing complimentary football all 4 quarters throughout the whole season, every game, then there's things that we can really do. We can move walls. And so I just think that, if we do that, we come together as a team, that we'll be straight.
Kyren, obviously everybody wants to play every snap. Everybody wants to play in every game. The Rams drafted Blake Corum as well. Is there a way to feed off each other, to kind of one guy do something, the next guy do something, and make it that 1-2 punch? Or is it there's always a competition where everybody wants to play as often as possible?
Right. I think that's just in somebody as a natural competitor. Everybody wants to be on that field, but you got to look more deeper than just yourself. This is a team game. There's 11 people on the field. And you, like I said, I want to be able to play all 21 games. And so I feel like, having Blake here is going to help me be able to do that, be able to help me keep my productive from what I did last year, keep my productivity up, allow me to be who I am. I don't got to, have all the stress, I can't come off the field. But, I got somebody who's capable that, back me up and do what he does. So I'm excited for him to get out here and we can just start working, so I can start teaching him in the ways.
Kyron Williams is here on behalf of Walk United LA. That's coming up on May 11th. Steve Avila, who we talked a little bit about a second ago, he's going to come on with us later this week. And is there anything is there something we should ask him that might make him squirm a little bit? You want to give us a little heads up on something we can make him dance with a little bit?
I guess ask him to repeat a cadence. Ask him to give you a cadence on one. Tell him give you a cadence on one to see what happens. Because, he's switching over to center this year, and there's a lot more responsibility as a center than, is a right guard. And so, he's stepping up to the plate, though. He's doing great. He's making the right calls. He's doing everything he's, in his power to, be the best center he can be. And so, I'm excited for him. But, just messing with that might just, he might laugh a little bit when you ask him that.
Take me through this. So obviously, we've heard Sean McVay call plays from the sideline, and we've all seen the video of Matthew Stafford telling everybody in the huddle, yeah, Sean's still talking to me in my ear. I'll tell you guys to play in a second. But I get that the quarterback needs to know what every word in that sentence means. As a running back, are you just listening for your portion, or do you have to understand what everything means in it?
So that's another thing that I'm trying to get better at this year, because I would say my first 2 years, I would only listen to what I have to know. Mm-hmm. I wasn't really worried about what anybody else, but I feel like I'm coming in my third year in the NFL on the same team. I feel like I should know what everybody else is doing on the field besides me. Last year I was able to know what the linemen were doing. I knew where my blocks were going. I knew where the pass set was going. So I knew a lot about the run game and whatnot. But I want to know what the receivers are doing. I want to know where they're trying to push crack to, or what route they're running on this, or whoever's tagged on this is running this. I just want to be able to know everything that's going on around me, so it slows things down for me. I've got to run around with my, feel like my head's cut off.
How hard is it when you go from a college scheme, you were at Notre Dame, obviously, coming into a pro scheme, to understand the language? Is it like, okay, I got kind of the fundamentals of it, and you add to it, or is it starting from square one from the very first day?
No, I think I was blessed enough just a little bit where at Notre Dame I was able to learn just enough to where I got here and I kind of knew of the same things. But I wasn't like run scheme. I didn't know what a single block is. I didn't know what a double block is. I didn't know what a backside B, a backside A. I didn't know what a doom, what a trim, what a rake, what a lawn was. But now that I'm actually I'm putting my time into learning the game and learning football and what a 2-eye or 3-tech or 4-tech or 6-tech, all of that is. It's allowed me to slow the game down, drastically a lot. And so, I learned a little bit, before I got here, but it was really my second year and going into this year where I'm really trying to learn the game of football.
Walk United LA is coming up on May 11th. Kyron Williams will be one of some honorary chairs. It is at SoFi Stadium, and it's here to help end poverty, build communities here in Los Angeles. For more information, you can go to unitedwayla.org/WalkUnitedLA 2024. Kyron, it's a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
You got it. Okay, that's how complicated football is. Did you hear what he was just talking about?
Yeah, all I heard was a rake.
I know.
And Stafford's sitting there like, yeah, Sean's still talking to me. I'll get it to you guys in a second. I'm assuming it's like learning a second language. So once you know it, it's not nearly as hard. Like if somebody just said, oh, by the way, here's Cantonese. Okay, I don't know what that is, but if they said
every single day, and
right,
this, it takes
Here's
it in there.
Here's how we count. Here's this. Here's that. We're going to add one thing every day, and then we're going to go back to the beginning. It's just that is an impossible thing for the layperson.
Even you, as a football dad, you saw it with Michael in his playbook. It was, dude.
I opened that up. I'm like, yeah, I can't help you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what any of this is. That's high school football. NFL, Sean McVay,
Imagine?
NFL football?
Man.
Get out of here. Rabbit Hole coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Hey, guys, it's Sedano. Next Gen is the official AC
Around
which direction we are going.
Nothing can possibly go wrong.
Nothing better, Sliwa. I'm
Aloha.
just telling you. It is time at 12:34 on a Live Imaging Tuesday presented by Kia of downtown LA.
Finish your
Travis
thought.
and Sliwa show.
Finish your thought. At least if you're going to finish your thought, finish your thought.
Well, it's kind of a rabbit hole on its own. It is time for the segment we wait for, the segment we crave. Time for the rabbit hole. Take it away, Producer M.
All right, it's time for
Aloha.
Rabbit Hole. Nothing can possibly go wrong, or we talk about whatever has been occupying way too much of our time to start the day. It could be internet thing, could be anything. Jorge, why don't you start?
Okay, so I told you guys this earlier. So I'm looking at your jacket. What brand is your jacket?
Patagonia.
Patagonia.
I would have said it in Espanol.
I
Patagonia.
always add an N.
Right.
I'm always like
You also-
Patagonia.
Yeah.
Okay.
You also
Patagonian.
wear that every day. How do you not know the brand?
No. Now I understand
Didn't
why.
we
So,
talk about fashion before?
Correct.
I said whatever's convenient, that's my fashion.
Okay,
It's
no.
hanging in the closet.
Yep.
No, so I was watching the Jerry Seinfeld 10 Essentials from GQ magazine, and he has a backpack of the same brand as your jacket. So he explains that he went back to the store and said, "Hey, listen, I want a backpack just like this one." The guys told him, like, "But why?" And then he said, "Because I just need a new one." He's like, "No, the reason we make them so durable so you don't have to buy a new one." So now I understand why you have one jacket. They're so well made, according to Jerry, that you don't have to go back in there and buy another jacket.
What's the saying?
That's why the brand is so good.
It's a saying of, I don't know, but basically, you end up paying more.
Right.
The cheaper you buy because you have to buy so many of them, or get a good quality one. And it's like you're done.
Patagonia, LL Bean, you'll have them forever.
North Face.
Yeah,
North
that's
Face.
another one.
Too.
Columbia. Yeah, Columbia. Did you guys mention Columbia?
Yep.
I don't think Columbia's.
but
I'm
it's
not
up
a
there.
Columbia fan. My Columbia stuff has gone to.
Kirkland.
Add it to the list.
No, with a C.
I'm just saying, my Columbia stuff has gone to poop.
That's pretty fun.
But yeah, no, I just keep watching these actors and athletes. I know Anthony Edwards is in one of the episodes. The guy from Tangled. The guy from Tangled has these weird things that massages his like eyes or his cheekbones. It's weird.
Is
man.
it like one of those infrared things?
No.
Because he has bags under his eyes.
Right, so
he's old.
these are like spoons, but they're not spoons. They're round. Just imagine.
Oh,
like,
I know what you're
you
talking
know
about.
those.
Do you like leave them on your face while you just chill out?
He rubs them like.
Is it like kind of what the fighters use to get the swelling down?
Yes, but it has a handle on it. So he's like rubbing his eyes.
I
It's
know what
weird.
you're talking about. It's because he has
That's
he has
one of
eye
my
bags.
essentials too.
No, but seriously, these
need
guys,
one of
like some of these actors and actresses, I'm like, man, like the weirdest things
Well,
that they
it's-
need
look,
throughout their life.
Because they can get
Correct.
anything. And that probably walks you into random stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And if you are an actor or an actress, your appearance is so important to what it is that you're doing that if you look off in any, whether too thin, too heavy, too old, too young,
eye bags,
whatever the thing that they're not looking for can keep you from getting a job, you're going to put metal spoons on your face.
Okay, so I use something similar to what Josh O'Connor uses. It's called a gua sha, and it's like
Bless you.
Salud.
Do you need a paper towel?
You put face oil on your face, so your face is a little slick, and it's a little rock that's kind of curved, and it's like an Asian practice, but it's like you put it into these like pressure points in your face. It basically drains your lymphatic system. So like when you wake up in the morning, you might have a little puffier face, especially if like you had a little bit too much to drink. You do it in this certain spaces, and it just thins out your face, and over time, it makes a huge difference.
Oh, so it's like when I was in high school, I used to freeze the spoon, so when I got a hickey, I can just rub it on my neck.
It's a very similar
seriously,
thing.
it would work.
I did not know there was that. I didn't know. I'm unfamiliar with that.
Never had to use that? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that word is a
Yes,
word.
Oh, it works.
It does work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had no
Again,
idea.
it's lymphatic drainage, and it helps it out. So
Yep.
I know you talked about like the GQ interview, like what's in my bag / like what's my essentials, and that rabbit hole. So I've gotten on that this is not necessarily my rabbit hole for this segment, but with actors on actors. It's one of those things where they sit down two actors, usually in the award season, and they have them asking each other questions, and I just like seeing their dynamics together. So, like, I really liked Bradley Cooper and Emma Stone did one this past award season, and, like, Emma Stone calls it, like, Coopsie Poopsie. And I was like, who calls Bradley Cooper Coopsie Poopsie?
Emma Stone is the answer to that question.
And her name also, she wants to be referred to as Emily Stone now because that's actually her real name.
Ah.
All right. So, Trav, do you have a rabbit hole?
Yeah. So I don't know how I got there, but I was on
the best
YouTube.
Part of not knowing and how the hell you end up. I'm like, what? Where did I get here from?
So Michael, my son Michael, is not a golfer, but he wants to learn how to play. So we went and played a little bit, and then he was watching a YouTube video on the TV about golf, and it linked to Tiger Woods' greatest 25 shots of his career. Enraptured. It was long. It was like almost a half an hour because, they show each shot for about a minute, replays and all these things. And I remember that one. I remember that one. I remember that one, just one after the next. And it was just kind of a little trip down memory lane about all of the great moments that he put together over the course of about a 10-year window where he made golf a thing that you didn't even need to like golf to like that he's hitting the most incredible shots you've ever seen. It was as much fun as I've had watching YouTube in my entire life. And the most recent clip was probably 15 years old.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
I'll throw one in here. You guys ever seen, you may have seen it on some of these short clips or they got longer versions. Eater? E-A-T-E-R.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Okay, so they go through a bunch of different restaurants.
They're also basically like a Yelp. So they do reviews. They do kind of like lists of places to go to.
That's right. Top 10 eateries, whatever it is. Okay, so Eater did one on the life of a baker and what it looks like from morning to by the time it opens up.
Okay.
This one was specific. It actually just came out yesterday, this specific episode. It was on mine. It's a bakery in San Diego called Wayfarer Bread. I've never heard of it, never been. And this lady talks about basically for over 16 years working at different bakeries, 25 years total in the business, and finally decides, I'm going to open up my own bakery. She arrives like around 3:30 in the morning. So here's this camera crew following her in, and they just go through from start to finish. This is what my morning looks like. I get here at 3:30 in the morning. She has so many different things going on. And the way she described it was, it's like taking a plate and spinning it on your finger and then taking another plate and spinning on the... And she's like, I don't really know how it all gets done, but it all gets done. She knows the precise measurement of this. And if she's making this bread, it needs to steam a little bit longer. And this specific type needs a little bit of water. And she takes you all the way until the bakery opens, and that's when it ends.
That's where their day ends, when people start coming through the door.
It's kind of like fascinating. She's like, we get all the way till 8:30 in the morning, and then by 5:30 one extra worker comes in. By 6:30 now there's 3-4 people. By 8 they're displaying everything in front of it. It's crazy how they do it.
Yeah, because baking is much more about science than it is about like feel. Because baking requires precise measurement, precise rise, like all that stuff.
She had a really good comment. She goes, if you follow rules well, if you're not a rule breaker, baking is good for you because you got to follow those rules.
If you like improv, you're a better cook.
Baking is science, cooking is art. Yeah. That's the difference.
Yeah. Also, if you like what Al was describing,
by the way, the crackling of like the bread when she like pulls out a baguette out of the, I'm like, I need this right now.
It's amazing. So if you like what Al referenced, you'll like season 2 of The Bear. They do a thing where one of the characters goes off and is just working in a bakery, and it's really, really cool. Also, another tiny rabbit hole I went on this past week was there's a Paris awards one bakery the best baguette in Paris, and they make the French Prime Minister's baguettes for the whole year. So every year they renew it.
Wow.
And so there was a TikTok going about like why this one specific French bakery is the baguette of the year. And so they just supply Macron with the baguettes for the whole year.
You know what this sounds like? Lakers season just ended. What the hell we had a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Okay, so my
You're
rabbit hole.
smiling this time.
I know.
Yeah, it's fading.
It was a 2-hour drive.
Oh my god. One of my rabbit holes is I have been really, really into kimchi making like videos. So there's people of they mostly do silent kimchi making, and it's just like all the things they put into the bowl, like the different steps of the kimchi making, how to taste test for the sourness of it, and I just find that really interesting. Also, like sometimes like they'll open up their kimchi and it like explodes because of like
the
fermentation and everything.
How long do they leave them for? This is like a week, 2 weeks, or something
Depends
like that.
on like one, the kimchi, and two, like how sour you like
Put in
it, how
those,
fermented you like it.
Big buckets.
Yeah,
seal them
and
up.
they press it down and stuff. So I find that really interesting. And one of the guys made a Mexican kimchi, and they used like Mexican spices to make the kimchi. So basically, instead of like I believe like gochujang that they usually have, and like the different like sort of Asian spices, they used just really spicy stuff, like kind of to make it like birria and stuff. But just like the dry products. And he tried it, and he's like, "This is the hottest kimchi I've ever tasted in my entire life." So that was a cool video. I can't remember the name. The other rabbit hole I've been down is I watched the entirety of a limited series on Netflix this past weekend called Baby Reindeer. And
how many
laugh
episodes?
at the name. It's a really serious show, actually. So there's seven episodes.
Hour each?
Hour each. And I was engrossed in this story. So basically, again, trigger warning for people who have dealt with like SA, because it kind of sexual violence.
Okay.
Because there's part of that is in this. So again, if you have any issue in terms of like trauma with that, I maybe would stay away from that. But basically, this guy who's starring in the show, this happened to him. So he wrote about his own experience, put himself into the show about a stalker. So he was being stalked by this woman who come to the bar, and she's like, her name's Martha. She was lying about a bunch of stuff, but it kind of devolves into like more than just the stalking story, but kind of his own background, why he tried to get into comedy, what he's doing with stuff. Anyway.
He's a comedian?
Yes. So Stephen King tweeted about it, which is why I started watching the movie, because he tweeted out like,
say less, I'm in.
He said something like, Baby Reindeer, perfect. And so I was like, okay. And everyone's talking about it, and so I'm watching it. It's 7 episodes. It's a really tough subject matter, but it got me into rabbit hole. This really exists.
Huh?
I'm not
the two-hander.
Now, this will take me a year or two to power through it. I'm not going to get through it in a weekend, but I'm a huge Stephen King fan, so if he's in, I'm in.
The Bee Gees is 1 hour.
And but like it's about a real person, and then like the like cops actually went after and got this real person after this movie, after the series came out. Anyway, it's on track to be, this is from Film Updates, it's set to become one of the most watched Netflix shows of all time.
Wow.
So it came out maybe a couple weekends ago, but last weekend and the weekend before was really when it got its legs.
Is that what hits? Like just...
If anybody knew.
And it's called Baby Reindeer because the
knew.
stalker calls him Baby Reindeer.
Yeah, that's creepy.
All right.
That's creepy.
I'm more
Look, if Stephen King likes it, it's probably pretty creepy because most of his stuff is pretty creepy. The Dump
really
coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
I'm attorney Darren.
Black and gold are hitting Sin City.
Oh, that's a golazo!
LAFC enter the U.S. Open Cup in the round of 32 as they look to dim the bright lights of Vegas.
Oh, the 32-52. Dale, black and gold.
It's win or go home as Los Angeles Football Club battle Las Vegas Lights FC. Coverage begins Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on the home of the black and gold, 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Gotten to today. Yes, it's time for the dump.
All right, so I want to start with this. Okay. This is Jimmy Butler talking about what would have happened had he been there to play against the Celtics and others.
Video this. You got it?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, action. If I was playing, Boston would be at home. New York, damn sure would be home.
Okay, so New York and Boston would both be at home. That's Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler obviously did not play. He was injured.
Do you remember they interviewed him before Game 3? It was Miami, Boston. Miami had just won that game. It was 1-1.
Right.
And he had said something of, we're going to beat them tonight. We're going to send them this, that, and then they ended up getting
that's not what happened at all. Well, Pat Riley had thoughts on what Jimmy Butler said.
For him to say that, I thought, is that Jimmy trolling or is that Jimmy serious? If you're not on the court playing against Boston or on the court playing against the New York Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut in your criticism of those teams.
I am absolutely blown away by how center of the bullseye that is. That's not coded language. That's not, we got to be a little more. That was, dude, you don't play.
Wow.
Shut up.
He misses about 20% of the games in the regular season, I think, over the average of his time in Miami. A little over 20%.
Jimmy Butler's their best player, and the president of the team just torpedoed him, just absolutely cut his legs off. Like, look, if you're not playing, you can't talk about other teams. You don't play enough to talk about other teams. They asked him about a contract extension for Jimmy Butler and the same thing, and he's like, well, we haven't really made up our mind on that at all, but it's something that we're considering. But, for more, you got to play more. And I can't help but wonder, Popovich is the only other name that kind of popped into my mind of the guy in charge of the whole thing that's willing to say the truth about their star player, even if the star player doesn't like it.
Here's the difference. The difference is Jimmy Butler said this joking around. Jimmy Butler, is it on? All right, 3, 2, 1, action. And he says what he said. Listen to Pat Riley. You know what Pat Riley's saying? We're not in the NBA. We're not in the playoffs. We got no shot at making it to the finals. Pat Riley's not joking around. Pat Riley's looking at his situation, his predicament. I love what you just said. How many executives can say that? By the way, forget the NBA. How many executives say that in sports, period?
Not many.
Think about that for a second.
Not many.
He's calling out his best player. What's today's NBA? What's today's sports? You basically cater to the stars and you let them do whatever they want. Pat Riley, obviously, we know that's not how he does business.
Seems to work out for him.
Do you remember this? And I know you do because we've talked about this before. You remember when LeBron and Dwayne Wade were basically trying to get Eric Spoelstra fired at his head coaching position? There was a poll that came out of, this is from the players, I think the players voted best coach in the NBA, and it was Eric Spoelstra, and it wasn't even close. Pat Riley knows what the hell he's doing, and I know I'm not trying to sell you on that. We all know that. But to just get in front of a microphone and have no trouble saying, yeah, why are you talking? We're not playing. Could it just mean this? Could it mean that if Jimmy Butler takes offense to this, then Miami, Pat Riley saying to himself, okay, then now we don't have to spend those resources there? Or could it also just mean this is my only way to wake up Jimmy Butler and say, you got to play much more?
He wins either way. And this is why a guy that has confidence, that's got security,
29 years there, in Miami.
It's got a resume of no one's going to say, well, he didn't know what he's doing. He is so secure in his position that he can say, Jimmy Butler doesn't play enough and he should shut up. One of two things happen. Jimmy Butler will play more. Okay, that's good for Pat Riley. That's good for the organization. Or he gets offended and leave, and Pat Riley may be thinking, that's fine. Right. I've already got what I can get out of him, and this is allowing me to move on to whoever it is that I next
25.
identify. That's what I mean. It's bold. It's incredibly isolated. Popovich would say something like that about Wembanyama. He would. If he thought, hey, listen, and I'll just make up something.
Yeah.
Hey, he's got to get a lot stronger. He's getting pushed around out there. There are times where he can't hold his own at all. And
he'd be blunt about it.
Unless he gets stronger, he's never going to be as good of a player as he needs to be. He's never going to play as many games as he would do that. I think that might be the end of the list. I don't think Steve Kerr's saying that about Steph Curry.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. What if Jason Kidd in the offseason said, and by the way, he may have said this and I just don't know, what if he said something to the effect of, the guy's not in shape?
Yeah.
How do you think that would go?
I don't think poorly.
Luka might respect him enough because he is an established player.
Maybe.
But not too many players can say, or not too many executives can say that.
The shot was today in 1989. May 7th, 1989, Michael Jordan hits the buzzer beater over Craig Elo. It gives the Bulls a 101-100 win over the Cavs in the fifth and deciding game of their best-of-5 Eastern Conference. That was a first-round series. For such an iconic shot that it was in the first round is kind of surprising. Usually that's in the finals. That's in the conference finals at least. First round, game 5. And it's one of the first Jordan highlights that kind of jumps into mind.
It literally, when you think of, if I say, give me a Jordan highlight, you got all the stupid, ridiculous highlights, just him one-handed doing stuff, but the Elo shot.
Gets the ball from Hugh Evans. He looks, he gives to Jordan. Jordan to the circle, puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over, and the Bulls have won. Jordan beat him at the buzzer with a jump shot in the circle, and Chicago has knocked off the Cavs 101-100.
He had a few of those.
You know what's funny about that is his shots, we know the defenders, right? Like the shot over Elo, the push-off on
Brian Russell.
That shot's so iconic. I know Craig Elo from that.
Well, it's because Elo drops to his knees. Like, you got to be kidding me. Like, Brian Russell got thrown to the ground by Jordan, right?
Elo played perfect defense.
I know. Elo just had his heart
Jordan
broken.
Jumped and made a double clutch, hung out in the air.
You know what we should do, Jorge? A little super crosstalk. Bonk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk presented by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
It's time for Super.
Hey! Do you know why we're playing this?
No.
Specifically, Ireland, do you know why we're playing this?
I don't. Is it Ethel Merman's birthday?
No.
I know it might be,
It's
but
a good shot, I think, right?
But today,
I don't know.
Today is lit.
Today is lit.
Oh, right.
Okay.
It's lit. Yeah.
So earlier today,
I'll be annoyed for 3.5 hours.
Well, Morales was in here, and he said specifically about you, Ireland, that you do not understand the show business aspect of this radio station.
Oh, interesting.
In what way? Well, first off, the quote. We had an original quote.
Well,
what was the original quote?
I thought.
See, I would argue that Chris doesn't understand that we're a sports radio station, and if he would like to debate that with me on our show today, I would be more than happy
I have a feeling the odds are high.
He wants me off the station. I want him off the station. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, these guys have been at quiet war for a long time.
Is it a Cold War?
Morales, oh yeah, they act all normal when they're playing yacht rock on Tuesdays, and the rest of the time it's like bitter between the two.
So the original quote that I wrote down that Chris wanted to clarify
change it a little bit.
was that you don't understand show business.
And I don't think Chris understands sports radio. Where does that leave us?
Wait a minute, isn't it possible that both things? I mean,
both
two
things can be true at the same
time.
time. Yes.
Here is the rift between.
Yeah, sure, take that one.
I
hear it once a week.
It's neither of ours, but that I will not allow George to have it by himself.
Okay.
It's a phrase that has been around for a very long time.
What? That both things can be true?
Things can be true
I
at the
stole
same
it from
time.
him. He's the first person.
By the way, I think 3 or 4 things can be true. I think it's not
No, you might
limited
have the
to
first
2.
thing.
Many things.
Yes, many things can be true
at the same time.
Quote.
Yeah, that's a new one.
John, you were saying.
No, I mean, this has been a long-standing rift between Morales and I. I think we should talk about sports on this radio station, and if it was up to him, he would never say the words Rams or Lakers ever. He would like to do, wrestle with Kaplan for 3 hours and call it a show.
Yeah, I don't need 3
He
hours
did talk
of that.
about. I think that's
we
part
did talk
of
It's
about
going to be a chippy day around
the
Bit of the year.
I'm
He did
excited.
talk about
But
the
see,
mounting.
Mace, when I realized that it's good, I kind of like to just sit back and watch it happen.
Oh,
once
that's
in a
what I'm
while.
going to do today.
Once in a while. Like, I don't want to do it 3 hours, 5 days a week. I don't want to do that. But
I'm up for an intense 3.5 hours. Let's go.
I got nothing better to do. If he wants to debate whether or not we should talk about sports on ESPN radio, I'm more than happy. If we leave it up to Chris, there will be 0 sports on this radio station.
I think this all started.
That was our first hour, just a heads up.
Yeah.
That was our first hour.
That was our one.
This all started with you apparently picking a fight with the Circle of Trust.
Circle of Trolls.
He is picking a fight with the Circle of Trust, which I think is really impolite. I think by the way, when we go out and we do it, a lot of those people are Circle of Trust people when we show up and do a live show somewhere.
I don't have anything against the Circle of Trust. What I have a problem with, let me ask you guys. Why did we get rid of Joe Fortenbaugh on this station?
Because he called Cappy a prick?
Right. Because he doesn't like Kaplan.
Okay.
These, a lot of these trolls don't like. There's one guy, he hates Emily. He hates Laura.
Yeah,
he hates
terrible.
me.
I hate that.
He hates Morales.
Yeah.
I mean, why do we put up with these people? Let's just get rid of them.
Well, but
What do you mean by get rid of them? Like just
get rid of our
mute
listeners.
them, block them.
Get rid of our listeners.
I can do that?
You can mute whoever
Of course
you want.
you can mute and block.
That's what I'll do. This is how I'll make peace with the Circle of Trust.
Yeah.
I will mute the trolls, or I'll block the trolls like Lindsay does.
Don't
have to
block
block,
them.
just
Don't
mute
block
them.
them. Here's what blocking gives them the satisfaction of knowing they got under your skin.
Yeah, but I want that.
Oh, okay.
You
then
want
you
them
can
to know they
choose
got
that
to you.
option.
Yeah.
But blocking or muting is my preferred option because they can continue to fire
And they-
it off into
and
the
they-
abyss.
they never know.
and then they have no idea that I never even see
That's
it.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I had to
that's
mute
my
Travis.
preferred.
I muted Travis.
Well, there's no business like show business. We're going to get some of it
Is that
today.
Ethel Merman? Is that who that is?
I think that is Ethel Merman.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Can you set up the NBA's decision? Set it up to
Which
to him
decision is this?
about
Jamal Murray.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Jamal Murray.
This is a hard one.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
tough.
Yeah, this
It's
is a hard
really
one.
hard. I think no matter which way they go, I kind of get it because here's the case to suspend Jamal Murray. He threw something at the referee during the game.
Exactly.
Pretty strong case.
Here's the decision not to suspend him. Make him hurt financially. Really take a bite out of his wallet if you can. I don't know what the
Hard
CBA
to do
says.
that.
Right.
And
Makes a lot of money.
Is there a maximum? Like, can they?
I think there is. I think as
250
part
or
of
something?
the
CBA.
CBA, there's a maximum a player can be fined.
Do you have any idea what it is?
I don't.
Okay, let's just for the sake of argument say it's $250,000.
Okay.
Okay. Hit him with $250,000.
Yeah.
and leave him out there because this series is already virtually over. If we take Jamal Murray off of the court, we're basically giving the series to Minnesota. They might have it anyway, but by removing Murray, it's going to tilt the series too dramatically. We're going to make him hurt financially. We're going to let to your point, John, our best players are going to play unless we have no other option. That's the case for. The case against is simple. He threw something at a referee.
Right. I've always taken the position that I think it has to be super egregious if you're going to suspend somebody. This borders on super egregious. What I would do is I would fine Jamal Murray the maximum I could fine him. I would tell him he could play, but he's on double secret probation. I'm not kidding. Like, I would say if he does anything remotely close to it again, he's done for the postseason. But I wouldn't suspend him. What would you do?
Suspend him.
I think you have
to. I think you've got no choice. In this particular case, I don't think you've any choice.
What do you think the NBA will do?
It's unsafe. It's irresponsible.
I think they're going to suspend him because
David Stern would have suspended him for sure.
Yeah, I think he could have injured the referee theoretically,
or any of the players could have stepped on it, rolled an ankle, or slipped.
It wasn't just that you cross that invisible line of confrontation with referees. It's we always say you can't lay hands on somebody, right? Well, that's virtually the same thing. And somebody could have gotten hurt. Like another player, Towns was right there. Pope was right there.
Yeah.
There were a lot of other
players
at
their feet
that could have tripped on that thing, slipped on that thing. And what if Towns goes up, comes down, lands on it, rolls his ankle, and he's done? Like, I mean,
I make the argument that if any of those things would have happened, then you suspend him? But since it didn't, he kind of got away with it.
But what's the real deterrence for keeping the next? Because let's face it, these guys have so much money. Let's say the fine is
$250.
$250. Okay. What? Seriously,
that's a lot of money.
But these guys are making millions.
Sure.
What is the incentive, or what is the decentive? Is that right? The disincentive. What is the disincentive for the next guy to throw a towel on the court?
I don't think
next guy to
if
throw.
If it's just financial, there really isn't one. Because if you're LeBron James or who makes the most money in the NBA,
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown, $250,000. Yes, it's a lot of
it's
money.
Walking around money.
It's a $20 bill out of you and our wallets.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and it's like it's not going to change my behavior.
In this particular case, it's hard to justify not suspending.
What do you think
him.
Silver does, John?
If it was Stern, I would be 100% confident that he was getting suspended, maybe even for more than a game.
Oh.
With Silver, he's a players commissioner. I think he fines him the maximum amount and lets him play. What do you think happens?
I think they're going to suspend him. It's too far. It sets a bad precedent, to your point, Mace. And he threw something at a referee.
Wesley, what do you think they do?
I think you have to suspend him, but I don't want it to happen. I will say that the refs went completely out of their way. Did you see Michael Malone go up to the referee?
Mark Davis, the lead official yesterday,
he did
put
everything
on a
he can.
clinic in how to referee a playoff game.
I've never seen.
I've never seen a coach.
Oh, this is when Malone goes.
I've never seen a coach go at a ref like that and the ref not call a
Did not tee him up.
Look what he did too. He stopped looking at Michael Malone and just shifted his attention to Aaron Gordon just to try to and he probably knows he made a mistake on the call or whatever the case is. But I'm with you. Now you always say you don't want to see guys thrown out.
Nobody is paying to see the referee.
95% of the league throws out Michael Malone there.
But if you can throw things at the referee, what are we doing?
You cannot pelt them with things.
He just missed him. That's all that happened.
Yeah, you did.
He just happened to miss.
He winged a heating pad out there. But
what if Jamal Murray argues, because they're going to talk to him before they
the heating pad slipped out of my hand?
No. What if he says, I wasn't throwing it at the referee. I was just throwing it in frustration in general.
Onto the court?
Yeah.
My response would be, I don't believe you.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you can say I was throwing referee.
That towel did go in the towel that he threw first that he couldn't get a lot. I mean, it's hard to throw a towel.
Enough.
Just didn't quite get there.
Not heavy
so you
enough.
go the heating pad instead.
That's one of those, I understand what you're saying, Jamal, but I simply refuse to accept that as a likelihood. I believe you were trying to hit him with that heating pad.
By the way, how about in 2 games how they have dismantled the Denver Nuggets? Jamal Murray.
I'm sorry, Mace, you have to come over to my side
of course. The series is over.
We'll see if Sedano does. Sedano's like, nope, Denver's winning the series.
No, the series is
even
over.
after last night?
Well, I haven't talked to him yet.
You can't blow the first 2 games at home and come back.
The
statistics must be so far against you.
It's
doing
how
that.
they lost.
They're
not even
They
games.
got pummeled
These
last
aren't
night.
even games.
That was the best defensive first half I've seen a team play all year.
It was crazy. Here's how you know it's over. The Lakers and Nuggets over the last year's playoffs and this year's playoffs and regular season played each other 13 times, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Nuggets have won 12 of them.
Right.
At any point in those 12 games, did the Nuggets look frustrated and confused and just lost on tilt? Not really. Mm-mm. The Timberwolves did it in 6 quarters.
Right.
To the point where in 6 quarters they completely lost their
and
cool.
by the way,
the coach lost his cool.
Right.
Murray lost his cool. KCP lost his cool. Everybody blew their stack in 6 quarters. That's how frustrated they are that in 6 quarters they went nuts.
And by the way, watch Minnesota's body language and the way they're defending. Like Nickeil Alexander-Walker is laughing at Jamal Murray. He's like, Jamal Murray's trying to shake him, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker's like looking at him like, I'm not going anywhere, man. I'm going to be right in front of you the whole game. And by the way, if you go that way, Karl Anthony Towns is going to swat your stuff out.
Do you guys remember any team that kind of, for lack of a better, cut the line like this, where we knew Anthony Edwards is really good.
Right.
You can see him coming. It's only a matter of time until he's one of the best guys in the league. But it's, okay, they're a year or two away.
Right.
It just all of a sudden they went from out in the first round to win the whole thing. They got the best player in the league.
Wait a minute. They're not there yet.
Not yet.
But they are the favorites. I think the second favorite behind Boston.
They're behind Boston.
And I think this is really good news for the Celtics for exactly what you described.
Okay.
That the Celtics have been
knocking on the
walking
door.
On the progression. They've been to the finals and lost. They've been to the conference finals. Minnesota hasn't done any of that. My sense is that if it's Minnesota, Boston in the finals, Boston wins, and then Minnesota's the team to beat next year. But you're right.
Has anybody jumped a line like that, though?
The Warriors are the closest thing.
Okay.
The Warriors had, I think the year before they won,
lost to the Clippers.
They lost the Clippers in the first round in 7 when Mark Jackson was the coach.
Clippers home game.
Here comes Steve Kerr, new coach who has never coached at any level, not even in high school, wins the title in his first year.
By the way, that's exactly why I'm on the J.J. Redick train right now.
Me too.
Why not?
I'm on it.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's
I
go.
say do it. Do it.
And if it doesn't work, okay, nothing else has.
Right.
Well,
just give it 2 years.
Right.
That's all it takes.
And by the way, they can get somebody with a long coaching resume, but we've had those guys, and they're 2 years and out. So why not try something
Vogel
different?
got you one.
Right.
Vogel was the one example.
But none of us would have fired Vogel.
No, we wouldn't have fired him.
So you don't know anything about the show business aspect of this radio station.
Show
John. Keep that in
business.
mind.
Just 30
Show
years.
That's
Other
fine.
than the 30 years.
That's fine. I hope Chris comes back to your show tomorrow and doesn't come on ours at all.
Yeah, see,
no deal.
You guys have such an up and down relationship. Like last
true.
week, you seemed like you were fine.
Right.
This week, it
Well,
seems
this
like
is
there's going to be a battle.
No, this is the battle is this. I want to talk about sports. He doesn't. That's it. That's the whole battle.
Quite an impasse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how it
I know
goes.
what he's going to go at you for.
Which is
Your belief that the Mandy Awards are cooked.
Oh, we talked about that a little bit, too.
That I think that's like.
Where do you come out on that?
I think it's legit. How did Sliwa win if it wasn't legit?
Thank you. Thank you, Mace. It's okay, man. You're 0 for 2
I know
for 2
you're
years.
right. No,
You're
by
0
the
for 2.
way,
What are you going to do?
By the way, no, you won. I mean, you are the winner here. You did, and it was completely unexpected, and I don't think it was cooked.
Super crosstalk.
He did not catch it. No, he
is
didn't catch
brought
it.
to you
Show
by
business, people.
In and Out.
It's going to be interesting.
I can't wait. In and Out.